Yo, what up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Chat back in with everybody. It's been a minute. I've been getting a lot of work done, doing a lot, moving around. Organic Minds podcast, episode 25. Today's version gonna be a little different than what's usual because I want to touch on more personal situations, and so I'm gonna use a few reels and a few videos and comment topics a day to keep everything going. But I want to say the good morning to everybody. Let me find my tablet. Before we get to it, let me make sure I got everything. For everybody who in the feed for Facebook, Instagram, what I'm saying? Good morning, like, subscribe. Let me add everybody in. Y'all know how I go in these services. I gotta let them know. I gotta tell them when to go live. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Good morning, good morning. Make everything shake. But we got some real good topics this morning. We're gonna talk about a couple things, but I wanted to make sure I got everything together because we on multiple platforms and services whenever we streaming. So I try to make sure we all locked in. But how's y'all mornings? How's everything going with all the crazy stuff happening in the world? The goal is to stay focused and to really just have a goal and a drive and a dream and a vision. Because a lot of times we got dreams, but we don't have goals to reach when we're trying to get there. And it's easy to have dreams and goals. And another thing is that one of the things I noticed too, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of artists. The most consistent thing I see when it comes down to like people dealing with the arts. The artists are probably some of the most stubborn, non-business minded people because they just want to focus on arts. And these are the things that are destroying the business and the culture. So it's a lot of times, a lot of people, whether we realize it or not, we victims to these predators in music, the music industry, trying to get money, trying to get deals, because we got to start asking ourselves, if we artists or creators or inventors, when people come to us about anything, we have to automatically know off the rip, they don't give a fuck about you. They only care about what they came for, the product, which is whether if it's you, the art, the clothing. So never get associated or never get it confused that when you're dealing business of any sort, that these people, even if they're good people, they're not there having these conversations with you because of you. It's because of what you offer or whatever you bring to the table. So in all business meetings, always remember that what's best for me in business might not be what's best for you. Sometimes I watch and I learn too, like, depending on where you are in life, I would tell people stop expecting everybody around you, friends, family, to understand where you going or what you're trying to do, and be comfortable with it. Learn to be more comfortable with that idea, because most of the time, it's the people who are closest to us that are never going to really make the impact. And if you really pay attention, when I look at the Sanaz and all of the famous streamers and YouTubes, when I look at all of the famous artists or the ones that made it without the so-called industry help, even though a lot of it's a lie, if you look at their fan base and their following, it's not people they really know. You know what I'm saying? The people they know come later. Yeah, let me jump in these groups real quick. And you got to start asking yourself, why is that? Why is it that most of the people that's successful or that's doing things, we all assume that they're successful because the people around them support them. On average, the people around most successful people don't support them until they already at a certain place where people be like, man, my friend doing this, like, yo, they buzzing, like, you know what I'm saying? But at that point, people start thinking like, damn, let me tap in with my bro or my sis or this person, da-da-da, because they be like, yo, it's like, let's say they've been watching for a minute, they don't tap in and just be like, yo, I'm gonna follow, I'm gonna watch you, I'm gonna help you support what you got going on, I'm gonna share your joints, I'm gonna do this for you. Like, basically, learning how to do the footwork to create to help grow what you doing, while at the same time they don't realize they're helping themselves, because the more that they open their avenues, their pages up to this information, if that's what they're going to do or whatever it is you do, then it opens up your audience who come to you to watch other things for your information or for whenever you bring what you bring to the forefront. It just be like, hey, I like doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's not always a bad thing. It's not, let's say it's not always intentional. We're all programmed to do what we want to do and what we love. But the issue is that if we all individuals and doing this, like, if we all out here just, hey, I want to do this too. If we all out here doing all of this individual shit, then we ain't never gonna get shit accomplished on average. Unfortunately, there are some tasks that need to be accomplished and done by itself. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of them. So I just want everybody just be mindful of everything that's going on, and mindful of what other people been through, and just the dynamics of how everything flows and works. Because I notice when I'm dealing with a lot of people in the art and creative world, I deal with more art minds and no business. You know what I'm saying? And even when it comes down to art, we deal with a lot of arrogant minds instead of open-minded creators, right? And so that's why I say it's always gonna be hard to get things to flow a certain way, especially when things are not right. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that's not right. And that's one of the things that we're gonna suffer and struggle with. But before we get deep in today, you know what I'm saying? Let me get you my intro to the show. Y'all know how we always got the intro. And we'll get back to it.
Tell us about your father.
Why don't you tell us something about your father?
We're trying to get to know each other, Mr. Lowe.
I was trying to get to know you, Mr. Tolson.
Well, I'm not the one on the debate team.
Are we not engaged in a debate right now?
All right. I'll take the affirmative. Take the meanest, most restless nigger. Strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggers, female niggers, and nigger infants. Tar and feather him. Tie each leg to a horse facing in opposite direction, set him on fire, and beat both horses until they tear him apart in front of the male, female, and nigger infants. Bullwhip and beat the remaining nigger males within an inch of their life. Do not kill them, but put the fear of God in them, for they can be useful for future breeding. Anybody know who Willie Lynch was? Anybody? Raise your hand. No one? He was a vicious slave owner in the West Indies. The slave masters in the colony of Virginia were having trouble controlling their slaves, so they sent for Mr. Lynch to teach them his methods. The word lynching came from his last name. His methods were very simple, but they were diabolical. Keep the slave physically strong, but psychologically weak and dependent on the slave master. Keep the body, take the mind. I and every other professor on this campus are here to help you to find, take back, and keep your righteous mind. Because obviously you have lost it. That's all you need to know about me, Mr. Lowe. Class dismissed.
And I want to thank everybody who always tuning in and always give feedback. And for those who even send me videos about things that they feel like is important topics to speak about and to discuss. I definitely want to take the time out because I pay attention. So I'm one of the people that pay attention to atmosphere and what's going on in the world and how things are moving. And I honestly can genuinely say that most of the people I see in general, whether people I know or strangers, are living this false reality and this illusion of life that's not reality and not realistic. And it's affecting us on every form. It's affecting us in the relationship and love world. It's affecting us in the friendship world. It's affecting us on a brotherhood. It's affecting us on a sisterhood. On every form and every way. It's almost like and I'm gonna be real, it's not a lot of people that I trust. It's not a lot of people that I genuinely can say, like, I genuinely trust. Like, I know a lot of people that I respect or fuck with, you got the music scene, but I'm talking about, like, genuine people that you ain't got to worry about a lot of pride and ego and a lot of the bullshit that come with people today. Like, as we got older, more people of my age, the more I tend to not respect how they move and how they live and function, because everybody living on their own accord. So we have all of these constant problems. We constantly got a conversation between the women and the men. And I talk and I do a lot of conversation. And it's like, it's more opinions in the world than it is actually understanding. People are not looking for true understanding. They're looking for what fits their lifestyle or what makes them comfortable with their life, right? And that's one of the things that's the issue, because when we having conversations or debate, it's supposed to be two sides to the story, right? And it's supposed to show the dynamic, and the truth will sit somewhere in the middle if we being honest. But at the end of the day, there's this big movement like lately that I've noticed of black people saying, man, fuck reading a book. I don't think we can afford to say fuck reading a book, because people are like, yo, I don't fuck with books, you know what I'm saying? But then we study the hieroglyphs. It makes no sense, because the writing and words are equivalent to hieroglyphs in some sense. It's a different form of writing, but the pictures were still a form of writing. So before they was using papyrus or whatever to write their books, they was writing in stone. So if we get rid of like saying no books and all of this, then it's cool. Just like I was watching Dr. Sabi yesterday, and Dr. Sabi said if a man comes in with an ideology, it's a problem. The issue where he's right in that, the issue in that, because all great scholars, it's so much I agree with them about, and it's things that I don't. But that's how it's supposed to be. But it's not a disagreement in his intelligence. It's just in everybody, whether if you realize or not, has an ideology. If you're a Christian, you got an ideology. Muslim ideology. You in the streets, you gang banging, that's an ideology. But I think, and he say no ideology, you have to have some frame of reference to start, to have a mind. As you get smarter and as you grow and build as a person, man or woman, you get to break your ideology down into small parts. You get to dissect it and turn that ideology, all these pieces of ideology into truth and understanding. And all of these debates that I see on TV, these are not healthy debates. Even if like it's 2025 and we still don't have a Muslim imam and a Christian, the top pastors on national TV having a debate, not emotional, not in the church, not in the mosque, in a room full of intellectuals presenting the facts of what they feel is true of their religions, you know what I'm saying? Their deities, their gods, and the proof they have. And all of this shit should be laid out, right? It should all be laid out in a different form. Like it should all be laid out. That's what time we live in today. But meanwhile, we still sitting around and we still stuck in the same frame because we still asking the same questions that they was asking in the 30s. So we haven't progressed. I walk around and I see everybody talking about, you know, we really believe that we smarter than the people that lived 1,000 years ago, and we not. And so one of the things, what was it that I was seeing the other day? Nobody wants to believe. Matter of fact, it's part of this that I'm going to go to. So let's tap in because we're going to get to some of these topics. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let me get back to my main. So I want to actually show y'all these. And in fact, let's start here.
Got you. You know, shout out to DJ Chuck T. He right here in Charlotte. He was on my podcast before last year in 24. I asked him a question about how do you know the different sounds when it comes to Charlotte? So, like, example, we know who we sound like or who somebody sound like when they from Atlanta. We know that, oh, they from Atlanta, California, whatever, but do North Carolina have their own sound? I asked DJ Chuck T that, and he said they didn't. Idea of who you rap like. Got you. You know, shout out to DJ Chuck T. He right here in Charlotte. He was on my podcast before last year in 24. I asked him a question about how do you know the different sounds when it comes to Charlotte? So, like, example, we know who we sound like or who somebody sound like when they from Atlanta. We know that, oh, they from Atlanta, California, whatever, but do North Carolina have their own sound? I asked DJ Chuck T that, and he said they didn't. Idea of who you rap like. Got you. You know, shout out to DJ Chuck T. He right.
So this is a conversation that I had a few years back that caused controversy. Like I had this same conversation. In the conversation, when I would go live and I would say Carolina doesn't understand music or separation when it comes down to the artist. This is a natural thing. A lot of people got mad about that. Then I said Carolina is one of the most talented places in the world, but the lack of understanding of art or being original, organic, taking chances, risk, and originality is something that Carolina lacks on a full-fledged realm. I've been saying this years ago. They say, oh, bro, you just hating. Let me move my screen. Hey, bro, you just hating, you doing too much. Nah, I recognize it, not from my opinion, but from, I know thousands of rappers. I done sit in a room with beat makers, engineers. This go on every level. This ain't just the rappers. This go from the beats and everything. There's not a lot of artists and producers or videographers or people in Carolina that's really truly creative. Niggas is part-time creative and niggas is really just be piggybacking shit and going half fast, right? The truth of the matter is, like he said, he asked, and he said, y'all asked, you got a true sound? The answer is no. Carolina, when I'm in meetings, Carolina tends to mimic what's hot. If right now Memphis hot, right? If Atlanta hot, when you go through the Carolina artists, you find a lot of talent, but you find a nigga that sound like you find a group of men and girls that sound like they from Atlanta who ain't never been. You find a group of people who sound like they from up top that might have never been. You have people that sound like they from Texas, people that sound like they got like a Cali style. People, and we got to understand why though, because Carolina is a melting pot. So not to disrespect it, Carolina isn't a true South, right? And people that say Carolina in the South, you really not in the South like that. You're in the dead middle of the North and the South. And technically, according to the people of like Louisiana, Mississippi, that's the true South. This is the East Coast. You see how we have been misled though. Like, you know, you got a couple states between, it's like 2 states between you start talking about you from up top, but really it's the East Coast. This is the East Coast. The South is truly Mississippi, Texas, you know what I'm saying, Florida, but even those, but see, it was misnomer because at one time the South was like the bottom area, you know, going Florida and back, right, in that area. But Carolina's not a true South. Half of the people in Carolina from New York and New Jersey, right? Half of the people from another group of people here is born and raised Carolina. Another group of people here from DC, Baltimore. Another group of people, I know people from all over, Cali, you know what I'm saying, LA, Compton, Florida, Virginia, it's everything. So there's all of these different talents and modes in Carolina, but the lack of ability to work for greatness and to work hard is the issue. Niggas is rapping not because they want to work hard. Men and females are rapping because they feel like it's an easy way out. I always stood on this principle, regardless if people get mad. We can put 5,000 Carolina artists in a room, and 4,500 of them gonna sound like somebody that's already out. Boring as hell. I know it for a fact, being a producer as well, when you play music for artists that doesn't sound like something that they heard already, they can't be creative. You not dope if you sound like the rest of these people. You're not a great artist. You're a copycat. It's easy to mimic. If that's called playing it safe to everybody. But I want you to understand that this conversation is becoming a big conversation in Carolina. Like he's saying, do you have a sound? No. How can Carolina have a sound when it doesn't believe in supporting the originality of its artists? Carolina, including the people, the business, the politics, it's all about popularity and all the wrong shit. Most of the most popular rappers in North Carolina are popular for the wrong reasons. I got a homeboy that be like, bro, when you say that, you kind of could come off as bitter. And I used to tell my homeboy, I don't have to come off as bitter because the truth is the truth. Most of the time when I make statements publicly about many things and it offends you, that's because you fall under that category somewhat. You might be almost out of that category, or you might, you know what I'm saying, be a little different, but it bothers people respectfully because it applies, right? If things I say to you are the things that made you mad when I be talking about relationships as a woman or as a man, that means you got some work to do on yourself. Because the only way that it bother you, offend you, is if it's something that I'm speaking that kind of speaks on that mode, right? So I want everybody and all the artists in Carolina, like, stop playing. You know, it's a lot of personalities in Carolina, but when I look around, this shit's not good, right? And at least if it's gonna be some, if we're gonna find a new style, then let it be that. Like, we in Carolina, right? So respectfully, if I see a video from North Carolina, I shouldn't see niggas dancing like we in New York in the videos. We not in New York. That's their shit. I shouldn't see niggas walking around with videos with 1,000 niggas in a gang in the back throwing up B's and C's. That's Cali shit. Do something of your own consent. When you see Morant, you seen him in Fayetteville, and you seen him in his neighborhood, right? That was organic. That's why it worked, not because of anything else, right? But people not gonna play it safe. Most of the people are only They only gonna do the bare minimum because they know that people ain't gonna take chances. And I watched it. So I know a lot of people that do music, and forgive me, y'all, because I'm looking for a lot of people that do music and art, but they're afraid. They're artistically cowards because they will never take a chance. And then, but they'll be the main person out in the public doing shit. You know what I'm saying? It's consistent issue in Carolina. Rather, we could be talking about from music to video games to 1,000 things. The issue is that once a person like me start addressing the real issues of something, oh, what's the problem, bro? Damn, you tripping and shit. And once I see that, I be like, yo, I can't fuck with you, and I get out of it. Why? Because it ain't personal, but it's me saying that in order for us to be successful, whether we playing 2K, music, business, dogs, we have to be able to address the problems with each other. Like, for example, me and my homeboy Razy, we play 2K, we both artists and music and shit. When we on the game, every so often we had this argument about our gameplay. And I'll be like, look, bro, blah, blah, blah. He'll tell me like, look, bro, you a scorer, but sometimes you can get to the point where you got 28 points and you could attack and kick more. Now, in my pride and my ego, which it happens at times, I could be like, look, bro, it ain't my job to da-da-da, but we got to be, in order for us to be better at what we do, we got to be able to be real with each other. And that right there is the reason why I don't have a crew. A lot of niggas who got crews, you're going to realize and you're going to find out soon that everything lovely because you offer people shit. Like, most niggas around you, they your mans, your people's, the artists, but you got to understand how they're thinking. It don't matter how pure you are. It's like, they say, okay, my nigga's shining, okay. But once the spotlight go on them, then it's kind of like at some point, maybe not year 1 or 2, but at some point, they might get a record that work that get more views than you or get more of this in this area. And then what happened with the communication when they feel like, I don't need you? You understand? This is the part that you can't dictate. In the streets, the gang, nothing can stop the division and the separation that come from power of niggas wanting to be king. And it's a natural occurrence. That's every nigga. And I want y'all to pay attention. It's hardly no crew in hip hop who don't fall out and don't break up. Because black men we are horrible at being able to deal with each other past a certain amount of time, because there's always a certain amount of black men in the room who feel like they authority. That's why there's gangs, because there's certain men that have to be higher than other men to feel like somebody. I don't. If I fuck with you, it's because I genuinely fuck with you. It got to be some in it. You know what I'm saying? I want to gain too. This is what I've been telling niggas for years. You know what I mean? But I'll be real, because when I seen this, somebody sent me this morning, and when I seen them talking about that, they were saying Carolina don't have his own sound. At some point, y'all need motherfuckers like me. No shout out to nobody else, but a lot of people, and I'm not knocking them, when y'all send them music and y'all pay them to send y'all music, they're doing their job. I'm going to review your shit and I'm going to give you somewhat feedback. Right? But it's also, it's getting you exposure and getting a bag. There's not a lot of artist development anymore. Why? Artists, when you deal with artist development, it's hard to develop artists because you have to make an artist uncomfortable. And when you start making these artists uncomfortable, but you make them uncomfortable so that they can grow. You're comfortable if you only do R&B music and real dope soul R&B. If that's all you do, you one-dimensional, but you're really good at that dimension. Now, I would never knock you, because I would say, yo, if you perfecting that for a second before you move forward, I would say perfecting it. But once you get to a certain level, I'm going to say continue to make these, but I also want you to work on club records. Continue to make these, but I want you to focus on your lyrical records for the people that like the skill. You know, it's that push that should be the thing that continues. The fact that there's a lot of, I won't even call them yes men. Let's put it properly. We have become so individual that we think that we can make whatever art we want and it's gonna work. It don't fucking work like that. Every rap nigga I know that I recorded his first album sat in front of me and said like, yo, this shit gonna blow up. And in my mind, I gotta ask myself, do I tell them the truth or do I let these niggas have their illusion? Meaning that I want you to blow up, but 9 times out of 10, this first project ain't gonna do what you think, because you ain't got the money, the budget, or whatever you think, right? Even though it could be like that. But understanding the psychology of all artists coming around, when they come and record and they shit, they looking at you in the studio like, yeah, bro, I know you rapping shit, but look, I'm about to do this. I'm gonna show you how to do this shit. Until they get their repetition. because arguing with people, right, from managers to rappers to beat makers to DJs to personalities, as they grow, when you see these same people now that years went past, when I see them grow, I see their presence evolving, but it's constantly you see them, you don't. They now starting to understand the turmoils and the struggles that had to be dealt with during the time when I was on the, running and on the up and up. That's all of us. So it's very important, and not to try to pick on nobody, try to be funny. I'm just saying it's very important for all of us. And I've been there. This go to me too. I've been guilty of everything that I've said in some sense, in some form, somewhere in life, in the art, not listening, arrogant, you know what I'm saying, in my own way. But the fact that I can look at this camera and say, I didn't make all the right choices. I was stubborn. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people try to get me to do shit I didn't want to do it. So that's why I speak on it, because at the end of the day, just because I might not have passed that obstacle with flying colors, it's my job to speak on, just like with our kids. So what? You didn't get up in the morning, you struggled as a kid. You don't allow your children to get up in the morning and struggle and not have a timing, because it's our job is to recorrect our behaviors, our bad, and make our kids better than what we are, or help them do the things that we can't. And that was just that one video, because I think it's very important. So anybody, feel free to leave in the comments, say how you feel, and if I see it, I'll read it. This, I wanted to make it a thing where it's not so much about rebuttaling the people. When you have something to say on it, rather than any of the feeds, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, feel free. Like I said, on YouTube, if you go on my YouTube link, then of course I can put that comment on the screen. But don't never be afraid to comment, because I'm not here to tear down your opinion or how you feel, because it's something to be learned from it.
Women have no clue of what men want, because y'all run around with lashes,
I only
fake
ask
hair,
how you like
all
to be
this
treated,
bullshit,
right?
and you can ask 100 men and 98 of them will say, I want a natural woman. But for some reason, y'all in competition with each other. Y'all think that natural beauty is ugly. Y'all done got away from being feminine. Y'all not even confident. I FaceTime a woman in the morning, she got her shit to the ceiling because she don't want to let me see her with her natural face.
Yo, what? We all been there. But I've been having this conversation. I know for a fact you women are not really confident. I know for a fact that 99.9% of black women, I don't care how bad they look, they insecure. How do I know? Because of how you dress in public. Like, you can be sexy, you got your man in the house, like, that's just different. I'm not telling you can't be attractive. But when you going out to the club and you out just chilling and everybody can see everything, if you like the guy you chilling one-on-one and you want to be attractive, that's different. You on the phone with somebody you like, you know what I'm saying? Then that's different. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we know. When we see, like, I understand, like, you got BBLs and all this stuff. Women want. I know a lot of women that want breast reductions, and I've had these conversations. So I understand there are women out here who got double D's, triple D's, but it's giving them back problems. They back hurt. It's all of these issues. So in those situations, I could understand for health reasons, but you need to understand the risk that you're going through. There's nothing that you're not going to take anything out and put it anywhere or remove it and think that there's no consequence for this shit. As if the creator made the body for shit it didn't need. It is the elasticity of your skin when it comes down to your breasts, your stomach, your stretch marks. There are ways to improve these are things the skin needs to heal. The things when you are pregnant, it's the bullshit you're eating that's leaving your stomach and the stresses, so the vitamins in the skin wear out. That's why they say shea butter, coconut, all this stuff, because it's certain things in it. There's foods you can eat. But when everything he's saying, and I'm gonna bring this back and really go in a second, but I just want y'all to let it sink.
You that embarrassed of yourself. That's what it is. You're not happy with yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Who are y'all selling yourselves to, the women or the men? Because we the ones that got to marry your ass. So how about doing what I like? The things that
she said I could care less what another woman think. That's not true. And a lot of women that come up here and gonna tell me that's not true. At the end of the day, they say they do it for themselves. That's partially true. Cat told you years ago, ain't no man to run around here and walk up to you. We might say, oh, I like your nails. Your feet are pretty. But they're not going to say, girl, stop. Is that raspberry plum? And if he do ask you, you better start questioning this man's, you feel me? Because if a man is paying that much attention to detail on that level that he know the color, he into some shit that he deeper than just what you think. We've seen all these things. They said today a woman wants a man to be a woman. She wants a man to love her like a woman. The reason why there's so many gay women, because the love they're looking for as women is only the love you can get from a lesbian woman. Ain't no man gonna love you like a woman gonna love you. Women want to be loved like a woman loves. And I hear it. That's why they say, women do for men. You should know women treat men in like certain things in ways that they want to be treated, which is not a bad thing. But the you have to understand. And it's almost tiring. And I see people fight me. If you grew up in a household, you got all sisters, you don't understand men. You grew up in a household with no brothers, you know what I'm saying, no father, you don't understand men. If you grew up in a household with brothers, you have some type of understanding of how boys are naturally. So when you get a boyfriend or move in and live with them, you already know you have brothers. But it's constantly saying, like, who are you getting dressed for? Are you doing this for the women or the men? If you saying you doing it for yourself, well, nigga, you don't date yourself, you don't fuck yourself, and you can't procreate by yourself. So that's why that answer isn't sufficient. You say you do it for yourself, for your self-esteem. That's not true. So you walking around naked and talking about what you do with the people you like, and that's your business. We all human. But in the aspect of when everybody can see it, what you can't do is put your body on Front Street, and when I meet you, everybody know what you about and all that shit, and then you can't look at a man and think like, oh, I'm about to wife you and treat you like a queen. Hell no. I'm always respect you. I'm not going to degrade you, but it's levels to that, right? As we grow up now, that's not saying that a person can't grow up and change, but you still have to be accountable of how wild and how reckless you was, man or woman. You can't just do what you want to do for 20 years and then find this man who's attractive or this woman that's attractive, and now you done fucked on everything moving, and now you 30 plus, and now you want a husband or a wife. Yo, now you ready to settle, but now your partner, when they meet you and they got to deal with the embarrassment and be disgusted about the shit you do,
that we want are free. I promise you. They are free. But for some reason, when you ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? The first thing come out their mouth is something we don't care about, which is your job. Your job. The first thing a woman say, I pay my own bills, I got my own car, I got my own crib.
And I say about this, being straight. Afghanistan man told me the reason why black women don't listen to black men and the women in America don't listen is because they have jobs. Any woman that has a job, very few women can have a job, high power, and make more money than their men or equivalent money. And at some point, why does a woman feel like I don't have to listen? Because it's in the old books in the Behold the Pale Horse that they wrote about America. They said that they was going to separate the families. And they said, we're going to give her more money. This is right. This has been planned way before today. And when we give her more money, she's going to rebel and she's not going to listen. Because now that job that pays her, that becomes her husband. Because that's her provider. So remember, and then when you start talking about this shit, a lot of women be sitting in the room with their face turned up. When then my answer to y'all is die alone then. And if a man feel the same way, he don't need nothing, then you die alone too. Because at the end of the day, we only got time and energy to waste for those who care to move the culture forward. If you don't care, I don't care either. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't for everybody. And this is what we learned. When people, most of the public not intelligent. We wake up every day, Facebook, Instagram, all of this knowledge, and niggas still out here living a regular life. All of the drone UFOs, all this shit going on, or what we so-called call it the fires, all this shit, niggas still living their life. People don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But I just want y'all to think, and I'm gonna let this play back in full.
But congratulations, you're an adult.
Of course, his ass got cussed out by the women in there, I could tell.
Women have no clue of what men want because y'all run around with lashes,
fake
hair, all this bullshit, right? And you can ask 100 men and 98 of them will say, I want a natural woman. But for some reason, y'all in competition with each other. Y'all think that natural beauty is ugly. Y'all done got away from being feminine. Y'all not even confident. I FaceTime a woman in the morning, she got her shit to the ceiling because she don't want to let me see her with her natural face.
As if we not gonna see you. Like, All of that makeup and shit, and let me back up. Women do think natural beauty is ugly. That's why when women cut their hair off and they had a low cuts with the earrings, a lot of men be on them. That's why the natural girls, they notice it. And that's why I kept saying, women walking around every day thinking they sexy. Nah, you lesbian. That shit you doing got them girls looking at you. Now, if you like girls, then you doing the right thing. But half of the shit women doing today is it's putting you in the eyes of a gay girl to snatch you the fuck up. But everybody, I need respect. Respect me. I'm a woman. All this. Y'all need to respect yourself half of the time. And I'm not trying to be rude. Most of the time, y'all don't respect. Y'all don't even have the self-esteem, and y'all don't even believe yourself beautiful. This is shit I've seen it all the time. So at some point, you know, men got low self-esteem. They walk around here, and then women say, "Well, we do what the men like." Well, if that was the case, then why y'all not listening to us about this BBL shit? Why y'all not listening to us about these fake nails and all this fake eyelashes shit? Why y'all not listening to us? If you like fake hair, fake nails, fake shit, you're gonna get a fake nigga. And he gonna be fake with you. As a man, you like you materialistic, you like fake shit, you like material shit, she gonna be material with you. And wonder why you got your problems. See, as men, we know at the end of the day, I could be half attractive. I drive a nice car, I dress decent, and women gonna be on me better, harder than the niggas that look good. God forbid if they think I got a little paper on me.
You that embarrassed of yourself. Damn. That's what it is. You're not happy with yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Who are y'all selling yourselves to, the women or the men? Because we the ones that got to marry your ass. So how about doing what I like? The things that we want are free. They are free. But for some reason, when you ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? The first thing come out their mouth is something we don't care about, which is your job. Your job.
And I'm gonna tell you, see her face, she look uncomfortable, right? See, this is when you dealing with the issue, the ego of the woman today. We in trouble as a black people until she get her shit in order, just like until we get our shit in order as black men. She has a pride and an ego problem. Not her, but our women. When they get frustrated, who the fuck told y'all that y'all word is law? I challenge this every morning because at the end of the day, this shit gotta stop, right? The strong black woman, I respect, but she is destroying our fucking culture because while she's strong at home, popping shit to the niggas, her sons is felon, her sons is dying, her daughters is hoes, they in the street young, they fucking up and they offers of shit. And I'm more, hey, shut up. I'm more disappointed in the adults. Cause this what the fuck we raised. Hey Lila, shut up. She think I'm yelling at somebody or something. See what I'm saying? But I'm disappointed in the adults. We talking about the 50 to let's say 35. The parents of these niggas. Y'all the weakest minded generation on planet fucking Earth. My generation did not continue to follow the rules and instructions of their grandparents and their mothers and fathers because of what you felt. When you was a little girl, a little boy, you was disobedient, you was disrespectful, you didn't listen to your mama, it was all about your pussy and your vagina and your dick and your drugs and these gangs. And now that y'all adults, y'all kids, y'all sons, and all of them is full of shit. Y'all daughters hoes, got no principle, and this is who the fuck when we all gotta take care of us. These selfish little bastards who ain't got no time to say they not responsible. This is who we gotta depend on. But they only that way because of these irresponsible ass adults and 30, 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds who still stuck in their second childhood and ain't never grew the fuck up. The women are just in the race and respectfully, y'all ain't shit. We watch y'all argue with y'all mama as young women and to get to where y'all at now, as if y'all was older and y'all pussy been around longer, respectfully, and I'll be straight with y'all. Y'all want to run around here talking about what type of mothers y'all are. Y'all was the most disrespectful girls on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not every woman. So don't take me out of context. But I want women that listen to me that truly understand my heart to know that there is a such thing as a hoe, a prostitute, a slut. There's a such thing as a woman, an educated woman, you know what I'm saying? A healer. They're all true things. What is your choice? And I be so harsh on women because it's saying, What's the truth? Only you can take a millionaire and turn into a bum. You stress that motherfucker out enough and you fuck his life up, get kids by him, put him on child support, running them back and forth, keep him in turmoil because you don't understand you. To be a woman is chaos. On a universal historical nature level, a woman genetically, she is chaos. Just like the universe, even if you want to say the Big Bang, it's explosion. Whether you believe it or not, that's chaos. You supposed to want a man to some extent to help you find guidance. He doesn't. It's not about him telling you what to do. Or some men, listen. I know men that need guidance from their woman, because we do. Y'all need guidance about. Y'all need fatherly guidance of this generation. You ain't my father. Y'all need a father because most of y'all ain't no fucking father. So before I could be your man, your nigga, I gotta father you. Just like, even though I got a mama and we come from broken societies and shit because our mothers got issues with their fathers, the lack of shit, you gotta care about, you gotta be somewhat, you gotta do some motherly work here. Who the fuck told you that you gonna come in, I'ma wine and dine you from the beginning, take you to restaurants, do all this shit while you got all this mouth, your mouth popping, you disrespectful, your ass showing, your pussy popping. You feel me? You probably only know how to take care of your body. All of these shits. Right? You in all these niggas' faces, vice versa. For men, all up in these girl faces, pH balance off, knocking these girls' pH off, same shit. But I want y'all to realize as women that nobody's more powerful than y'all. Y'all have a form of magic and mind control that y'all using it for the completely wrong reasons. But I know for when I'm out in public and I see women ain't worth shit half the time today. Men, we already know half of them ain't worth shit. That's why I don't waste my time in that conversation. And I know people be offended as hell at me about this shit, but it's love. But I don't waste my time on the bullshit, right? Nobody wants to deal with that, but that's what we on, right? That's the type of time we on. And that's why we can't go nowhere. A lot of men, I look at y'all and I be like, man, y'all stupid as hell. Because I watch people that I know or strangers dealing with women that they shouldn't even be in a room around her with when it come down to shit. Like, it's one thing, like, ain't nobody perfect, so it's always gonna be some shit. You know what I'm saying? But people taking disrespect and getting fucked over and doing all of this other shit, and shorty ain't helping them, ain't doing nothing but using them, or vice versa. Because I know it's girls out here that's busting their ass, and they go the same thing. These men ain't doing shit, but using you, ain't offering you nothing. They know you crashing, gonna drown, ain't about to help you, ain't gonna do shit for you, nothing. But it's those conversations where everybody's so offended in their feelings that can't nobody get to the point where they supposed to be, right? We know that y'all don't give a fuck. And I had a lot of, when I deal with like older women know that deal with me, they be like, I get inbox all the time like, yo, I know women scared of you because you can't play with me. I'm a Jersey baby for real. I was outside for real. I got a bunch of sisters, more than y'all probably got cousins. I got a bunch of brothers. I know the game. I pay attention. I pay attention to the times you text. I pay attention to your response. I know all this shit. I know the bullshit. It's comfortability level to it. It's that some women wear all that because they like it not to please a man, a woman, lashes, fake hair, fake bodies, or not women not respecting herself. It's about her feeling comfortable. Your comfortability is second nature to your womanhood, right? And what I mean by that, because that's a good point that you're saying. Right now, the reason that you feel as a woman that you're doing something understand there's a difference for what I might feel like I'm doing it for, and what it's representing to others, right? Because like I might feel I'm just doing it to be beautiful, right? But you really it's if that's what make you feel beautiful, then that's why I tell women then I challenge them what's within. Because if having your ass out or titties out and walking around all day for everybody can see it, if that make you feel beautiful, then that means that beauty is only visualized in the aspect of your body. Right? Now I get it, because I got sisters, don't get me wrong. They wear this shit too, but it's to the point where it's too much. You can't wear this shit, and if you're wearing this shit, when a man sees you, the only thing we can process is fucking you. Because what coming with these, like I said before, because me and you done had this conversation. the fake eyelashes, men have long eyelashes, not women. So you'll get mad when you find out these niggas fucking on these trans. You feel me? But it's y'all that's making it easier. Y'all look like men when y'all got them eyelashes on and all of this shit. Y'all look like drag queens. I like for real, like all of the makeup and the eyelashes and all that shit. It look good to y'all, but we look right past y'all and go get a chick that's not gonna wear all of that. Like that's the point that he's trying to say. These young niggas like that shit because y'all don't know no better. Since y'all was little, y'all look on TV. Listen, I can prove it. Them skinny jeans and all that shit, that's for gay niggas. Gay niggas wear skinny jeans. But the youth wear skinny jeans, not even realize that they look like a bunch of little gay niggas. And then they made it normal. And then them Balenciagas, them shoes was made for people that's like trying to lose weight or special ed kids where the soles uneven or people with disabilities. And then they made it the styles, right? As a youth, the issue I have, and not with you personally, but the issue I have when I talk to the youth is that the world has been living for thousands of years before your lifetime. So I talk to a lot of youth, right, that tell me stuff like, well, you don't get it, bro. Like, nah, we get it, nigga. I was your age. There's nothing new. There's nothing that you can experience as a 1 to 20 that the rest of the people, especially in our lifetime, didn't experience. We all went to school. We all dated. There's no experience you can have there's no experience you can really have that hasn't been experienced. So that's what it is. We know because at the time when we was looking back, we know how we thought then, and we was on the same accord as most of us too. So it's not a shot. It's saying that, remember, how you feel right now at your age now and how you feel when you become 30, you're not going to be the same person. And it's for everybody, right? If you 20 and the way you feel about men and all that shit, you listen, you just now getting out into the world. So you got the world from TV, movies, in the world that you know from school that was created in your head from TV. And let me give you an example. You remember when you was in preschool and shit and you never been to school before you ever went to high school, you seen it on TV? And then when you got to high school for real, that shit wasn't nothing like that. Not really. Not like how it is on TV when we was kids. High school is different. Everything on it's all they taught us that shit. Before we got to high school, they showed us personalities of people in high school. Some cool, some fighters, some bullies, some comedians. So everything we do as a people, we imitate. We were taught the personality traits. When you get 30, you're gonna look back at all of your homegirls and you're gonna think about all the movies you've seen and you're gonna realize what character did you grow up to be. Black men, I look at juice, belly, colors, all this shit. All the boys in the hood, only thing we did was grow up and imitate the characters of who the fuck we admire. Some niggas imitating the rappers, they think, you know what I'm saying? So when we younger, and not to try to be rude or anything, when we younger, we have these ideas, but remember, we just getting out into the real world. The real world is ugly, especially a woman doesn't understand that. Especially a younger woman, most of the time, and a younger man don't understand, like, yo, you go out here and make one bad choice, you dead. Y'all don't have that. See, an environment I came up from age 12 and up, the choices I made determined if I lived or I died. And a lot of time in the South is off the hook, but it's a different environment than like Carolina's different than like a New Jersey or New York. Even like, and Charlotte is close though, because Charlotte is built like a more of that, and you know what I'm saying? But it's different from these big cities because the poverty levels of people are so much more denser than these areas. So the environment, like the mistakes that y'all can make in the South sometimes, we couldn't make them up top. And it's some stuff we could make up top that we couldn't make in the South. So that's the issue. It's a lot of free realm. It's like you feeling beautiful isn't beautiful is within. It's a mental thing. It's not a thing that you show outward. That's not beauty. That's sexual. When I see a woman and I see your body, it's not about beauty. It's sexual because we live in a perverted environment. Now, I'm saying this to you. If you like a man and y'all chopping it up, y'all talking on different levels, that's different. But just to show it in the public, like, all I'm trying to say is, because I know this is name, all I'm saying is that be mindful of it, right? I'm not, we said, when I was at work, we had these conversations, the fake nails, the fake hair. When we see this as men, we see low self-esteem instantly. The fake nails, we know you got low self-esteem because you can grow your own. It's just we know you're not willing to do the work. The fake hair, we know that. We know that you don't want to do that. Some people got their hair messed up, but if you give the same way that I had to grow my hair, you got to go, like even with I got to go through this nappy phase right now before I do my retwist. Why do we are convinced as women, y'all going to buy y'all beauty. Y'all beauty is fake. It's not real. Y'all not beautiful. Y'all fucking Barbie dolls. Excuse my language, I'm going to say it straight. As I tell my sister, y'all are becoming the build a woman factory. And as we say it properly in the hood, build a bitch. I'm going to say it straight. Y'all want some build a bitch shit. You want a new nose? I'm going to go get it. You want some new titties? I'm going to go get it. Which I miss Potato Head. Because last time I checked, but love yourself. Loving yourself is some girls got big breasts, some girls got big butts. Some girls got thick hips and butt is decent. Some girls got small breasts. Some girls got both. You know, some girls got a pretty ass face, beautiful, but don't got no body. Love what's yours. Right? Men gonna be on the same thing. We already seen y'all be going crazy over men with BBLs and fake bodies and all this shit. And most of these niggas gay. Most of the niggas y'all trying to attract, most of these niggas gay and they ain't even on the right accord. And y'all hanging with y'all homegirl that's trying to tell you look good and they keep souping you up because they like you. So, I don't know. It's a weird time. And I don't try to offend nobody, but we got to be real. When I see this, because I come from black women, when I'm having a conversation and I see this body language, I already know that she's emotionally out of it. You see this? And I want to show you what I mean. This facial expression as an intellect and somebody that has emotional intelligence, when I see this face, 80% communication nonverbal. 85% communication nonverbal. So only 15% of the communication is what you say. This is what we mean by when you pop in your mouth, your shoulders, your body language, you rude. 85% of what you're saying is your body language, man and woman. So that's why I be flipping on niggas. You can tell me you good. You can tell me that you ain't offended by what I'm saying. But when I see this face, it tells me that you're in discomfort and that you're struggling. It also tells me that there's some spiritual things. Do it make her a bad person? No. Do it make her fucked up and make her fucked up in that moment? Do it make her a horrible person? No. But the issue is that I can't love you as a man until you get over your egotistical, low self-esteem bullshit. Cause we ain't fucking with you. You ain't my wife. I can't fuck with you. And I'm not talking about me personally. You can't be my wife. I'm speaking for all men, and you can't be you. Cause when we wake up in the morning, remember, when we roll over, you ain't gonna have that makeup ain't gonna be on your face. When you wake up in the morning, I gotta look at the natural you, not the dolled up you. If the only time I can stand you being dolled up, then I'm just gonna smack you and pass you over and keep it pushing. And that's the real. But that's how it happens. And I'm not speaking to nobody in general, but that's the real. Because I do understand, and I want nobody to get it twisted. I got wild sisters. But I do not pull punches with my sisters or nobody else. At the end of the day, that whole shit y'all doing, that shit foul. And then y'all normalize it and y'all justifying like, girl, well, if a nigga ain't got no money, he don't need to be around. Nigga, those ain't his kids. How you gonna demand him to do some shit that's something he did not create if he wanna fuck with you? Oh, well then if a nigga start providing and then start fucking with other women, now you want to, we want him to provide and be loyal to you, or you running your like, make it make sense. Make it make sense.
First thing a woman say, I pay my own bills, I got my own car, I got my own crib.
But
congratulations, you're an adult.
Yeah, we do say the same thing.
Women have no clue of what men want because y'all run around with lashes,
You know I only
fake
ask
hair,
how you like
all
to be
this
treated,
bullshit, and you can ask 100 men and 98 of them will say, I want a natural woman. But for some reason, y'all in competition with each other. Y'all think that natural beauty is ugly. Y'all done got away from being feminine. Y'all not even confident. I FaceTime a woman in the morning. She got her shit to the ceiling because she don't want to let me see her with her natural face. You that embarrassed of yourself. That's what it is. You're not happy with yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Who are y'all selling yourselves to, the women or the men? Because we the ones that got to marry your ass. So how about doing what I like? The things that we want are free. They are free. But for some reason, when you ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? The first thing come out their mouth is something we don't care about, which is your job. Your job. The first thing a woman say, I pay my own bills, I got my own car, I got my own crib. But congratulations, you're an adult.
Exactly. Congratulations, you're an adult. Now, it is true. It's like, it is the basis. And most of the time that I notice that men do say it, but it became a defense mechanism because it's like, you know what's crazy? And I'm going to say this straight up. Yo, I remember, like, hold on. I remember clearly, like, I remember growing up how women didn't like how men who paid bills, who had the possessions, and did have the financial means, they didn't like how the man was possessive. You know, back when I was growing up as a kid, the men, let's say they had the money and they tell like, nah, you can't do this. Don't be spending my money. And women were like, oh, he a selfish ass nigga, right? He's selfish girl. He don't want to get the kids this. He be funny with money. You know, I'm da-da-da, right? But now, the same things are happening in the opposite sense of our community. And now, in the same sense, nobody is telling the other side that they're selfish. Oh, you ain't never home to spend time with us or the kids. And now she ain't hardly home. You know what I'm saying? Because she ambitious. So the issue is, I think that women got to realize in nature, you can be ambitious, but your first job, your first natural role is the children. So I'm not telling you not to be ambitious, but if you don't have a support system and you constantly at work all day, even if you provide it, and I understand that this is something that some of y'all can't control, then you got to find ways to spend that time, or ways, especially if you got children, or if you want a relationship, to make time. People don't understand. And you got to understand that, like, you have to make the time. And that's the only way that it's going to work, right? And when people and another thing I noticed, the people that's really your friends, they going to be honest with you. They're going to hurt your feelings at times if they want to see you grow. And that's the issue. We tend to think the people that we've been cool with for years that we didn't fall out with as our friends. No, we ain't fell out with them yet. So you don't know what they worth. Y'all cool. Y'all thick as thieves, but let some shit play left where it really show if y'all friends or not. Because if y'all really tight, nothing gonna stop that. You know what I'm saying?
You're lazy, man. I don't want to talk.
Hold on, let me get to the next video so we can move on. And so let me do this. This is another one on.
I won't deal with you. You're gonna make me feel dumber. Or you're gonna lower my level. I don't think so. You can go over there.
Yes.
You're lazy, man. I don't want to talk to you. I won't deal with you. You're gonna make me feel dumber. Or you're gonna lower my level. I don't think so. You can go over there.
And I also want to say this too this morning, because let me put my, hold on, because I want to say this. Let's have a real, because I got my phone, so let's step out of the lab a second. Let's step outside. Hold on a second, because I want to have a real convo. Hold on. Y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Make sure I turned all of this on. So, let me go. So, okay, I'm gonna step outside in a second. I want to have a real convo. I think one of the issues, I seen this post that my homegirl was talking about in her part where she made, I'm glad she got on the feed, and I'm glad she gave feedback, because one of the things about the convos, when I'm live, and let's say we having a conversation like earlier, A lot of people, well, not people, a lot of women that's like-minded that truly understand, they understand. But a lot of women don't, or people can get in their feelings. But I seen when she made a point at the end of what she wrote, I think it's super important. And I wanted to really piggyback off of this because I realized that what she said at the end of this post that y'all can see in the chat is super, super key to understanding. It's a little chilly out here. It's a little chilly out here. So, all right. What she said at the end, she said, fake bodies is not a woman not respecting herself. It's about her feeling comfortable and stop yelling at her, right? That I like what she said that. Now, one, women who don't have a father, y'all have an issue with being spoken to in a certain manner because y'all didn't have a father. Your mother could never be a father, right? Because now this is just on a spiritual conversation with y'all, right? Y'all have to understand on an intellectual and a psychological and emotional level that yelling isn't a problem. The fact that y'all not allowing us to yell at our kids, that's why our sons and them dying, right? That's why our daughters is being misled and fucked over outside. When you don't have a father in your household, you assume that every time a man raises his voice or every time your boyfriend or somebody yells at you that they're doing something negative because you didn't have a father. If you had a father in your household, your father would have raised his voice at you. And by the time you got older in your 1820s, you would understand more of a man's logic and thinking from being around your dad. If you got brothers, right, your brothers, you're going to notice that your brothers, when they deal with each other and there's frustration, they're going to yell or raise their voice. If you don't have brothers or you didn't grow up with them in the same household every day, you don't get this technology mentally, right? So when we talk about men, when we talk about the black man, and particularly, or men yelling, right, it's a misnomer. Because he's yelling doesn't make him wrong, right? It's like, I want y'all to understand as women, you know when y'all in y'all feelings and y'all might not be yelling all the time, which y'all was the main ones yelling at times, but let's say as a woman, when y'all getting y'all feelings, y'all the way that emotions that's going through your bodies, that don't make y'all wrong, but not knowing how to deal with it does. Just like a man yelling, it's a way of expression, right? But that's the yelling part. I'm gonna get back to it. When she say it's about her feeling comfortable, okay, being comfortable is the foundation for deceit, destruction, you know what I'm saying? Death, you know what I'm saying? Fat, disease, laziness, right? Being comfortable is a problem in anything. The only time comfortable is really right is when, let's say, like you on your last days on earth and they want to make you comfortable, right? But when we talk about comfortability, like if you make your children too comfortable, they never gonna strive and go, they never gonna, you know what I'm saying, try to be great. So, but I love what she's saying because it gives me something to articulate. I'm not knocking you, Nate, and I appreciate it. And I respect anybody because she got up on his feet and she wrote, and I work with her for years, and we had these conversations every day, you know what I'm saying, about these topics. So that's why it's like she know me about what I'm, you know. But there's a million people that feel like how she feel. And I'm not here to tell you, oh, y'all just so wrong. I just want you to try to understand what I'm saying, my logic. Take what you can from it and improve. And if you can't, cool. But remember that somebody you love or another man, if you think I'm tripping, go to a man that you truly respect and admire and then ask him some of these questions. See the response you get. Go to multiple people, not just one. Multiple men that you know, or you know what I'm saying? Or men you respect that you feel like, you know, that you look up to, or people that got relationships and marriage. But being comfortable is not the key. Let me explain. I know a lot of comfortable artists. They work hard at one time in their life. It's a lot of artists I came up with that I don't really think that nice anymore. And not a shot at them. It's just that they comfortable. Right? They're comfortable. They got nice years ago, and then once they got nice and everybody told them they was nice, they just got comfortable. So when you get comfortable, you stop growing. When you get comfortable, you stop striving for greatness. When you get comfortable, you fall off. When you get comfortable, there's a lack of. That's what comfortable aspect of a woman in your body. Like, yes, I get what you're saying. The clothing is comfortable in that aspect, right? Because a lot of that stuff, it'd be like, you know, the tight pants, it's something that like, you know, if y'all wearing it in the house, around the yard, shit like that. But even then, if you got neighbors, right? And let's say even if you out in the front yard and you got it on and you comfortable and it show your hips, right? Because they got y'all Y'all addressing the body sexually. So if you got neighbors and your neighbor's married, you got, let's say, your neighbor got a wife or a husband, vice, and your neighbor's next to you, and you always got this shit on. The women in your neighborhood gonna start looking at like, why she always got this shit on? It's understanding, but being comfortable at the end of the day doesn't help. When we dealing with dogs and a nigga feel like he got it all figured out, or let's say he got some shit and then he like, bro, da 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 da, da, but he comfortable. That don't make him wrong. But I know as a breeder or somebody in a game to get away from him. If unless I'm in the same, like, unless I'm comfortable with where he at, like, if that's where I'm trying to go and that's my vision for right now, then that's where I'm gonna be at. But if I'm trying to grow, then I gotta be uncomfortable. And the issue is that right now everything has been told like, okay, being comfortable, but it puts you in bad positions, right? And that was the thing when I seen it, and it was like, also it say some women wear it because they like it, not to please no man, right? But then you also gotta remember, like I keep saying, girls like looking it. This before this generation, scientifically, most women are attracted to other women. So that's the first thing. So first y'all have to accept that y'all doll up and do it for each other, not for the men. So the first thing as men, like real men, like we don't really care for that shit. Like if a man, like when you see that's entertainment, two girls at one time, most solid mentally minded niggas do that shit and keep it pushing. But he ain't really about to wife both of them. And most men that do got two girls and it's a lifestyle they live in and it's certain shit. But not a really, women say that they want, like, I want a real man, like the ones that say they want a man, but that's not what I see. They go get little boys with money. They go get street nigga little boys who got a little clout, but they really not men. You know what I'm saying? This is what niggas doing. Or they go get, or the girls, they go get them a man he's accountable on this, but he's boring. Or men do the same thing. Yeah, we don't want the girls that's the real ones. We go after the ones that's, listen, and let me be real. So if I was having this conversation with men, this how it would go. You comfortable, like you gonna go, you keep fucking with them girls who dressing and showing their body. See, I want you to understand. Let me give it to you. Let me flip it all the way. So for all my men out there, because the women to see it better this way. Your problem is as men, as men, this is the issue. We go after the girls who got that shit on, right? In public. Like we gonna give her all the attention in the world at work in public, right? And we gonna do we soup her head up, knowing that we know she ain't shit. We know we just wanna fuck her. We know that we wouldn't do nothing but bend over, have a good time with her. And that's it. We know that shit. But we gonna give them that attention in public while knowing deep down inside when we settle down, we wouldn't even look her fucking way. Right? And we also know that it's the other girl in the room that we really fuck with on a deeper level, but the fact that we know she ain't trying to give it up at certain levels on that level, right? Depending on where you are as a man. Nah, that's for the young niggas, right? At the same time, it's a lot of men who got the money, and instead of you, and the girls that do look up to you and that you do got their attention, instead of you teaching them about this money and how not to value it and how to be real, now you dangling this shit. And what are we doing? We dangling their face, and we done made them believe it's about the money. So now they out here being hoes and prostitutes thinking it's about the money, right? And now they justifying it like, well, shit, girl, if he paying, you still, right? It doesn't matter, right? When I hear women, they say, oh, and I meant to, like, can't no man, it's like a man saying like, nigga, I ain't got low self-esteem, but every time they out in public, every time I'm chilling with this nigga, he doing weirdo shit. You can't tell me you a solid weird nigga, but you insecure about these women. Right? It's okay. Like, if it's your woman, your wife, I get it. But this ain't your woman and your wife and you in your feelings, that's the issue. And this happens every day. More niggas die over fighting over females than anything in the world. And when it's all said and done, one nigga in jail, the other nigga dead. And in a year or two later, she on to the next nigga. At some point as men, when do we realize that she doesn't understand the average woman? She may never feel remorseful until after 10 years later. That's why I was saying, like, if you a female that got and two niggas and somebody got killed over you, that's your body. You should be in prison too. If a nigga got killed because you was fucking with another nigga and there was some shit going on and some shit happened, that's your work. You know what I mean? And as men, be smarter. You know what I'm saying? A lot of females, that's why you don't go to these women's houses like that. You set the table. And that's the issue with men. You go to their houses. Women don't have no control. As much as they talk all that independent shit, They'll have a couple niggas or they exes or these crazy niggas they fucking with. They so solidly sound, they so mental, they so all it is, but these niggas they fucking with lunatics and psychopaths. And then they talking about they want a real nigga, but then they meet a real nigga. That real nigga gotta come in there, clean up the work from this fuck nigga that just left. Then he gotta come in and clean up after these bitch ass niggas you done had babies with. Right? Women don't have that same accord. But I do know women that go into households and take care of kids. But there's not a lot of women that's going into households where a man got his 3 kids dolo and she going in there to help and shit. A woman, I know, come on, I got wild sisters. They're gonna be like, yo, I ain't doing all that. Like, we could talk and chop it up, like, but I ain't about to come in there and do all that. But then vice versa, y'all get 3 kids later, y'all 20, this nigga got 2, 3 kids, and I'm like, girl, he got too many kids, I ain't fucking with him, right? Now y'all 30, 32, now y'all got 3 kids, now what? Now when a nigga tell you he ain't fucking with you because he ain't trying to do all that, now men being, because I see it all day, then women be like, man, niggas are shallow, this and that. I come with the kids, no. The kids come with you. That's how selfish we become. I see black women all the time. Before you make demands of another man, even if he's your man or your husband, respectfully, right? Make sure that your shit in order too about the fathers. Make sure your shit in order. Because we talk about everything but the root. The root of the problem when it comes down to our civilization, our women and our men. We talked about birth control during the election. Birth control is not the fucking problem. Lack of self-control. The organic form of birth control is self-control and self-respect. Not the pill, not the little wash shit that go in your vagina that be causing motherfucking bacterial infections, yeast infections and shit. Right? Not none of that shit. Not Depo, not the patch that's causing, you know what I'm saying, heart problems and cancer and all of that shit. Ulcers and shit. They don't give a fuck about y'all. And that's why I say they keep giving y'all band-aids and then y'all go to the front line and y'all be like, at the end of the day, my right is my choice. It's my choice. It's my choice. Your body is your choice. But you, as women, let me ask you a question. It's all women. Your body, your choice, right? But what the fuck have y'all done with y'all bodies in the last 50 years? Fucked, right? Let's be real. And I'm just saying, I know some women gonna be like, but think about it. Take your personal feelings out of what I'm saying and say, okay, let me take me out of it. And let me look at all my homegirls and the people I grew up with. Not me, because a lot of people be watching me and be like, not me. No, you might be the rare nigga in the conversation. Like, there's always the exception. But if you the exception, that means most of everybody else around you full of shit. I don't know nowhere where I've never seen a whole crew of niggas, like a whole family of a whole bunch of solid everybody. Every family got fake niggas, thieves, stealers, murderers, crooked, gays, everything. It's every family. But it's crazy. So it's okay. Right? It's okay. And we thought that it's okay. And it's no issue with it. Right? Hold on, let me make sure it ain't my headphones. All right. All right, my fault, y'all. I had to make sure I went on my headphones because I know I'm gonna switch. But that's harsh. I had a real harsh conversations that people don't have. We were afraid to have these conversations. Black men, low self-esteem in you. The shit you doing, the shit you wearing, you dress. I know you got low self-esteem as men too because y'all wearing them little skinny ass jeans and them sketches. The fuck is y'all doing? You can't tell me if you of 30 and up that shit is of natural consent. And I'm not telling you that you can't wear fitted jeans and straight legs and shit. That, you know what I'm saying? But some of this shit, bananas. If you a rapper or a singer and your shit, if I can play your shit and I can automatically, if it sounds like, oh, that's relevant. See, this how they trick this. For example, black men, and they be like, oh, this shit, you need to make some shit that sound like this. Nah, that's your friends, because your friends is following ass niggas. I had that around me too. I got rid of most of them niggas around me. I be silent. I stand on everything I say in general. At the point where I done cut niggas out at the end of the day, if you got a problem with me, we can see about that shit, right? But I mean, on the spiritual level, at the end of the day, I stand on what I believe in, because at the end of the day, you can't look me in my face and say, no nigga, that I ain't went out my way and gave you 13, 14 chances of anybody. But I'm at that point where, just like if you really that somebody spiritually, understand what you dealing with and stop fucking with people. You know what I'm saying? For years, I say it like this. You're gonna look back and realize, like I look back now in the last couple of years, I've been saying this shit. Before it was popular to get on TikTok and YouTube, I was telling y'all this same shit. Now everybody doing that shit for views. And motherfuckers was cussing me out. Before you seen Instagram and them talking about black love and relationships, I was up here. Why? Because these people doing it for finance. Not because they care. It's cold as hell out here. Hold on, y'all. But it's sad because a lot of people don't want the truth. So, and I told y'all that it bothered me for a minute ago, and that's why I stayed offline for a minute. It was something in my life. But I had to be real with myself. If I don't speak up, who else will? And the rest of these motherfuckers don't care. These men don't give a fuck about none of this shit. You know, one minute they told me it was gonna hurt me because I'm a rapper. Next minute they told me this and that, I think, right? All of this shit. But at the end of the day, how many people can say from the time that they was like 18, 19 years old, they have always been the main engine of their dreams, desires, and goals in many forms. You know what I'm saying? So I just say when I seen this text, I came outside because the key fact of all of this was comfortability. Our comfortability is our demise as people and as humans. We've become so comfortable. We're overweight. We don't work out. We don't do none of this shit. We become so comfortable. Look, we got the only reason why this BBL and these surgeries are important is because niggas lazy. You don't want to admit it, black woman. You fucking lazy. So you ain't gonna do the exercises it take to lose the weight. Black man, you fucking lazy. So you not gonna do the work that it takes. But guess what? For all my people getting all of these surgeries and shit, respectfully, you can cut the fat out. But if you don't change your mindset and you don't change your habits, it don't even fucking matter. There's a lot of people getting them surgeries and 10 years from now, they're gonna be back big. So remember what I said, I keep that shit funky in every aspect and every way. But at the end of the day, if and when I say it respectfully, if being comfortable, if being comfortable is the key, we need new goals. Because your comfortability will get you, because look, you go to the store and you just like, I just want to be comfortable. It make me feel sexy. And then and motherfucker snatch you up in a van or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Then what? My dog's going crazy. Then what? Hey, shut up. Oh, the door? Mufasa, get in here. That's why I moved that. What's the... That's why I put it back up there. That's why I moved it. What's the... But that's my only point. That's why I went outside for a second, because I wanted to have a real convo about some of it. We don't really like, we ain't really being real with each other. And it's to the point where it made me like isolate myself for years, because I realized that 99% of the people around me in Raleigh was full of shit. Like it's more to the people and not being funny, but it's more people around who was selling you nothing. Like people gonna use you for what they can. Whatever it is you do that you good at. If you're a beautiful woman, respectfully, while you looking good and make you feel comfortable, a nigga coming to use you for your body and for pleasures. So understand everything that I say to women, and because I know women watch me, I'm a father. I'm very compassionate. So I pray that y'all never mistake my seriousness, my sternness for anger, and that y'all see that it's compassion and care and that I really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody really has to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I got a daughter, right? And when I think about the world my daughter got to grow up in, I feel bad. Because I know how headstrong my mama, my sister, and a lot of women are. And I know how destructive it is to our community. Not that they're the main and only problem. But we can't, the empire starts with the kingdom is the mother and the father. And I don't see a lot of strong, spiritual, mental women when it comes down to what happened to where the strong, beautiful, spiritual women at? That don't mean you perfect, but it should mean, what I mean by that is that the journey is the journey, but it doesn't mean that there's testimony. Some people that had a hard walk and got a long story to tell. But everybody not supposed to be fucking up so bad, or everybody not supposed to be on this, or was a stripper, or doing this, or sold drugs. Not everybody was supposed to be that way. These stories are supposed to be good, but what about this? So you telling me that the reason for all of the elders and the knowledge was so that, I'm gonna say it this way. The reason why we're digressing is because every generation is supposed to evolve and do better than the one before it. That's not what we're doing. We worse than our parents' generation. We're less mature. We're less responsible. We're less respectful. We don't respect our elders. We have no idea what raising children really is. We have no sense of God, nature, understanding. We have no sense of self-love for each other, connection. We ain't never gonna be successful. The record labels, and they got us fucked over because we too stupid. Even in small shit as music, a collective is gonna be hard. Like, for example, like, it's, you know how easy it would be for every city, like a group of 20 black men that's the most talented, to get together, the best DJ, 3-4 the best DJ, 3-4 the best producers, 3-4 the best engineers, and actually they all do their own thing, but to get that shit, it's simple shit. But it's complex as fuck, because at the end of the day, of all of the egos and problems and politics and the niggas' time and money, and so what ends up happening is you learn to do it. You do it yourself. It's like, it's a lot of people. It's like, I know people that want perfection without, like, they want $1 million of perfection, but don't got $1 million to get the record mastered to that perfection. I know people who want more than what you know what I'm saying? Like, so I choose to surround myself with people, and I'm speaking for me, where, or should I say, I tell people that was around me this. If all you got is, let's say if you a rapper, but you got cameras and video software. You ain't got a studio, but you got cameras. So what can you do that everybody else can't do and be consistent? You can drop visual freestyles, you can drop music videos if you know how to chop it. You can do shit every day that make you dominate something, because every artist can't get up and drop videos on a regular. So if you doing it every day or every week, and you doing this because you got cameras, you're gonna stand out. You can't. So if I say, bro, you need to get a studio, and I'm stressed you out, I can do that all day. But you would tell me eventually, like, bro, I'm working on that, but I'm going to focus on what the fuck I can control and be consistent on to build my brand. So if right now, that's only, some people can't do none of that. But I got a studio, but I ain't got no music videos, but shit, I got an account, and I can upload songs every 3-4 days on YouTube, or upload songs every day on TuneCore or whatever. And then just doing that shit alone, when they get on Spotify, but you drop the songs every couple of days, you'll be nobody here, but on Spotify, you'll have 100,000 plays. Because you drop so much, you build an audience from building up, right? So I was always trying to teach people around me, like, yo, dominate the areas that you can control. You ain't got no studio, you got a camera, shoot a bunch of videos for yourself or freestyle and shit. You ain't got the camera, but you got a studio? I bet. Shoot a bunch of that for yourself. Do whatever you can. If you got a studio, record a bunch of fucking songs. Whatever you got. If you ain't got none of that, and you got a bunch of, you got beats and you got your phone, write a bunch of fucking raps. You should be, by the time you get to that studio, you should be well prepared, or at least at the point where you ready to be in the studio because you've been rapping and practicing. Greatness is a skill set, right? It's like this Luka Doncic and AD trade. Luka's greatness, yeah, we all shocked, but if we want to be real, we watched him last playoffs. His knees was bleeding and draining every game. I don't care. This is the issue with people today in the youth, because he's 25. He's 6'8", he's super talented. But imagine how good he would be if he had the work ethic when it came down to discipline of weight, eating. You know what I'm saying? He it's some areas that he lacks. And when they got to the finals, all of that shit showed. Right? The best thing Dallas did was get rid of Luka, because Luka's a great ball player for a team that already is established. Why? Because Luka holds the ball so long, for example, and I'm using an example that a lot of times people were standing around and we can't get shit accomplished. You get me? So I just hope everybody focus and stay busy on what they're doing and understand it and try to get to the point where people can truly, truly understand. And I'm gonna give y'all another one. So hold on a second. Before we get out of here, because I wanted to speak to y'all about these topics that, hold on.
Like that. And the problem is most of y'all grew up like, y'all, it won't work. You want to make him love like y'all love, act like y'all act, be like y'all be, do like y'all do. Man can't do it like that. And the problem is most of y'all grew up in homes and you never see how a man act. You never see how a man respond to nothing. And so you out there thinking you understand and you know just based off of what TikTok saying and men on TikTok saying and everybody saying, you have no idea. Sit down, be quiet, and let the man that truly loves you love you. Not based on your terms, on his. He know what he doing. Stop trying to control him to or manipulate him to be like you. No, we're two different beings. And if you really want a success in your relationship, let the man be the man. And if he love you, he'll sacrifice for you. That's a fact. If he don't, he won't. He won't do like what I'm doing. He won't get up without you. You don't have to push me to get out of bed. I'm just gonna get up anyway. Why? Because I got work to do. Why?
Because I'm gonna make sure that my family good and whatever the goals is, whether providing or whatever, making sure everybody, whatever you doing, it's important that we do have an idea and listen to the elders or the older people who, because his information come from his life and watching his mother and father and what his dad told him, his mother told him, and understanding from what he sees. Meaning that a lot of times the only true issue is that y'all have been taught by y'all moms and not don't let no nigga take control and this and that. But the fact that y'all never sit back and actually, the only way you can see if this man love you is let him drive the car. See if he stop when you got to go to the bathroom. Stop when you cry. Stop when you need. See if how long you got to keep telling him, I need to stop. I need this. See if he starts saying, hey, you need to stop. Hey, you hungry? Right? The car of life. Because if he loves you or if she loves you, let it show.
Because I got sacrifices to make. There are obligations that I'm not running from. That's why. Women, you're different. You're different. Men are different. It's just different. There's nothing you can do to change it.
Are you saying all men are the same?
We're different. I didn't say all men are the same. I said men are different from women. And I tell you that when a man loves, there is sacrifice in it. If he don't, there's no sacrifice. If the man is, you got to push him out the bed, begging him to go to the job, that nigga don't love you. Because when he love for real, oh, he going hard. The problem is, y'all don't know because you ain't never seen it. Your mama raised you by herself. Her mama raised her by herself. And all y'all just going out together, all y'all see is a bunch of women. You don't really see how men interact. And so when you hear a man tell you how a men love each other, oh, he this, he that. But no. Men bond different. Our stuff is because we can't turn our love on and off like a woman. I remember my dad told me that. How a woman can love you today and tomorrow like she don't even know you no more.
This is some real shit. This is so real. I hope y'all get what he's saying and why I took the time to not just think because I read a book or because of this and my natural understanding and nature and right. Now I actually set my ass down with the elders. I was one of, even coming up, I chilled with the older folks my whole life. So by the time I got 18, 19, and like when I was in high school, I really started like, I had to learn how to be around the younger folks. For real. You know what I'm saying? We had to learn it. But it's important that we get our information because what he's telling you and what he's breaking down is we're different. But it is an art. Remy, what are you doing? Stop. There is an art of making a man be a man. Man, go sit down somewhere.
I don't know how that is because I'm a man. So I don't even try to think like that because I'm not like that. There's no way I can be like that. It's not in me. My analogy of that is men love like cement. When you first pour cement, it's soft and runny. You put up a containment wall around it, holds it in place. Over time, it just gets hard and hard and hard and hard and hard. Eventually, it gets so hard that you need a doggone wrecking crane to break it. And even that, it still stick together. But a woman, she don't love like that. Her love is different. She loves like water. It evaporates over time.
I think you get that from your first love. You love, you think you puppy love, and then everybody's young. So the young woman moves on, and you use that experience to attain it to all of your experiences as you grow up into adulthood. That women don't love like men. Our love is, temporary, whatever you said. Because
I didn't say temporary. I say it's different. That's why when the scripture talks about the woman, it says, women, submit to your husband. But it tells men to love their wives. Because women, they have to choose to love or submit. A man, when we love, it's just love. It is what it is. There's no change.
A woman would love a man based on how he treats her. She would treat him. Yeah, so
but a man
that's a person. That's
a
human
woman,
being.
Regardless of how she treat him, if he love her, if you trust me, when a man love a woman, that woman can do all kinds of stuff. He gonna still love her. You believe me? This is why.
See, the issue is, even I don't know if he's talking to his daughter or his wife. The issue is y'all are not listening. You are constantly debating, constantly questioning, constantly rebelling. Listen. Women, submit to your husbands. Not because your husband, not your boyfriends, but y'all not even getting to the husband part. Think about it. Even, and I'm not saying she's wrong for her point, because I love when we need both dialects. But a lot of times, it's like, is she really listening? She's explaining, like, this is what I call, and I see this in a lot of times in these conversations. I call it defensive thinking. He's given an understanding and logic and wisdom. It's not about how it makes you feel. Like, and she's right. She said a woman loves today off of how a man makes her feel. He said a man will love even if we all listen. Every man on this feed, all my homeboys, we all know we've been in relationships, have been in shit for years. We don't be the happiest with y'all asses. Y'all selfish. Y'all can be in. Y'all don't check y'all kids. They get away. Y'all do a lot of shit, and motherfuckers still be fucking with y'all. If it was based off how y'all make us feel, we wouldn't be fucking with none of y'all. Because we believe that we can see grow better. Just like I know some women that say the same thing about men. But then we got to remember that a lot of these men that we see today have no male guidance. They just have been around women their whole life, so they respond emotionally like women.
A man's heartbreak, you can't even fathom the heartbreak of a man when he loves a woman and she breaks his heart. A lot of men, matter of fact, most men never recover. Look at your daddy. Never recovered.
It's his daughter. Right? It's his daughter. And not forget about right or wrong. It's not right or wrong, it's conversation. But all of us, we have to be better listeners as well. Let's go back.
Still to this day, in love with your mom. Like, y'all, it won't work.
Y'all write in the chat how y'all feel about this conversation.
Love like y'all love, act like y'all act, be like y'all be, do like y'all do. Man can't do it like that. And the problem is most of y'all grew up in homes and you ain't never seen how a man act. You never seen how a man respond to nothing. And so you out there thinking you understand and you know just based off of what TikTok saying and men on TikTok saying and everybody saying, You have no idea. Sit down, be quiet, and let the man that truly loves you love you. Not based on your terms, on his. He know what he doing. Stop trying to control him to or manipulate him to be like you. No, we're two different beings. And if you really want a success in your relationship, let the man be the man. And if he love you, he'll sacrifice for you. That's a fact. If he don't, he won't. He won't do like what I'm doing. He won't get up without you. You don't have to push me to get out of bed. I'm just gonna get up anyway. Why? Because I got work to do. Why? Because I got sacrifices to make. I got obligations that I'm not running from. That's why. Women, you're different. You're different. Men are different. It's just different. There's nothing you can do to change it.
Are you saying all men are the same?
We're different. I didn't say all men are the same. I said men are different from women. And I tell you that when a man loves, there is sacrifice in it.
And that's why I keep saying she's not listening. Right? Respectfully. A lot of women have horrible listening skills. If you ever are lucky enough to go to counseling with your husband or relationships, they will tell you men are better human beings than women are. Women tell you this in counseling. The studies show that men are better or more decent human beings on average as far as care, treatment, love, respect. In most counseling and therapy, they say that it's the woman. Men come there more open-minded than women in counseling, but the women she chooses if she wants to buy it. She can say, well, you know what, I want to keep my marriage, so I'm gonna change. Right? Or they say, no, I don't care, and they take all the information and go elsewhere. But he said men and women are different, and you can't change that. She said, so are you saying all men are the same? He said, no, they're different. He said, men and women are different. There's different types of men, but even though there's different types of men and women, we're still men. So there's a common denominator of certain things.
If you don't, there's no sacrifice. If the man is, you got to push him out the bed, beg him to go to the job, that nigga don't love you. Because when he love for real, oh, he going hard. The problem is, y'all don't know because you ain't never seen it. Your mama raised you by herself. Her mama raised her by herself. And all y'all just going out together, all y'all see is a bunch of women. You don't really see how men interact. And so when you hear a man...
And not only that, y'all interaction together is very wrong on average. When I see a group of women out, moms, it could be, and don't forget grandma, the grandmas today, of today's time, you got grandma who 50, you got, you know what I'm saying, 30 parents, and you know what I'm saying, and the fucking teenagers, 17, 18, 19 up, and everybody up at the bar, they all twerking, everybody at the table showing their ass and titties and what they got on. Everybody at the table, girl, all that shit. Everybody ratchet. And it's not every family, but this is what we see. But if there was a father at that table or granddaddy who had a respect from everybody, they wouldn't be wearing that shit at that table. And now when she get a man who tell her don't wear that shit, she'll know that that's a decent man because she know that her grandfather or her father who loved her mother, he didn't have that shit either. But when you got women running the household and they got this tight ass shit on and they dressing they 6-year-olds in that tight ass shit and they 14-year-olds in that tight ass shit and they 16-year-olds in that tight ass shit, then what? That's just being real.
Tell you how men love each other. Oh, he this, he that. But no. Men bond different. Our stuff is because we can't turn our love on and off like a woman. I remember my dad told me that. How a woman can love you today and tomorrow like she don't even know you no more. I don't know how that is because I'm a man. So I don't even try to think like that because I'm not like that.
I see in my comment section, because my people's, hold on. I see in the comment section, she said, okay, I hear you, King. She said, but speaking as a woman, it's hard to be submissive to men because so many circumstances we have played the role of the man. Even embracing a new relationships can come with the woman being the head of the household, so it's hard for a woman to submit. If there's no room for us to feel safe enough to. I had this conversation the other day about my homeboy. I'm gonna play it for you. I think that's the best way I could do about what he said. Cause I get what you're saying and I'm gonna respond, but I'm gonna tell you why that statement, it's not wrong. But I would tell you, like, if a man said the same thing, women wouldn't talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Let me find it real quick. I ain't realized I shared so much in all this time. God, hold on.
If a man has the ability, the mind, the mental.
Hold on, I gotta find it, this bro. Give me a second, but no, because what you're saying is true. Because you're saying, like, as women, I understand that too. So I don't want to make it seem like when I'm having these conversations, because I'm very compassionate. So I hope that y'all don't take me wrong about it. Because even though I may make my points, I understand and I hear you. Because it is certain things that we have to understand. So as men, we have to understand these certain dynamics, but we are understanding to help you get to the place you need to be. And I want you to understand, as women, we're not, how should I say it right? Our job is to understand and to help guide y'all if y'all allow us to the proper place, not just to understand and accept. When the Bible says, accept me as I am, that's when you first show up. But who you are, like how you came, I can't accept you. We supposed to be going somewhere, right? So as you are, you came broken. You know what I'm saying? Not just you, but in general. So, and a man too. And so you say it's hard to be submissive to a man because, man, it's so many circumstances. But the first thing I ask women to really open their minds and to start thinking on deeper levels and really start researching about how y'all positions in the job field is not only of y'all working it's not something that y'all did of y'all own effort. Y'all definitely work hard. I'm not taking that from you. But y'all really have to start digging and reading more, because so y'all know that black men are not just making excuses of saying that y'all are getting jobs and y'all get off them. I had an ex-girlfriend, I told this story before, she'll come up here. We was dating and we went to different jobs. And over half of the jobs told me they weren't hiring, but when she went in there as a black woman, they offered her the job. I wasn't dressed like no street nigga. None of that. I got sense. I know how to communicate. The world you live in, the ability to provide is something that they're allowing right now, and y'all don't see that. In the next 20 years, just like, remember, in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, it didn't stay the same. It changed, and then it evolved into where we are today. It's going to come a time where the culture going to shift again. Then what? Well, I want y'all to think about that, because your femininity, your ability to be submissive, your ability to do certain things, just like as a man, my ability to do all of these things. You got to remember, as men, we do have a problem with providing, because y'all asking us to come in and be providers before y'all even give us love, marriage, not sex, love, marriage, respect, and put things in order that's proper. It's like we're coming in, it's like, oh, he need to be able to provide. No, that's why the women have misled y'all. The reason why y'all feel like y'all can't put y'all submissive on, because submissive is looked at as being weak. But truthfully, the true alpha female is a submissive woman. The whole idea of alpha and omega that the Bible comes from the wolf kingdom. The alpha is the male, is the highest male, and the omega is the lowest female of the pack. But there's an omega, male and female. But in the animal kingdom with the mammals, the males pick, and we are animals and we are mammals. Right? They know, like I say this all the time. You don't see no other animals on planet Earth with so much rebellion and disconnect to their men. Y'all have to stop using y'all have the right. I don't want to be I'm not trying to be rude, because I understand I've had enough conversation to know to avoid certain words because the emotion it flicks. Because excuse would be horrible. I want y'all to stop You can be submissive. It's not until you get into your true submissive state that you're going to attract the man you desire. Because the masculine woman is going to attract a certain type of man. In order for a masculine woman to thrive in a relationship, she has to have an omega man. So in the wolf kingdom, we look at them as weak people, but really they're strong. The omegas, they're the ones that every day, whenever there's play or they play fighting, they're always getting dominated. Everybody always standing on. They're always on the bottom while everybody else getting their swag on. They make everybody else in the pack feel good about their self. But when it's time for him to pick his female to mate with, he almost always picks the girl at the bottom of the pack. And let me tell you why. This is how misled our women are from knowledge and understanding from this, because y'all live in a black world's mindset of being hurt. These women taught y'all hurt shit. They didn't teach y'all knowledge. They taught y'all broken woman shit. They didn't teach y'all how to be better women. They taught y'all how to be strong, individual, masculine lesbians. Respectfully. Right? You can't talk to a man any way you want to, because that's nature. The lions, she can't beat the males, but it's so many. But if she's out of order, the other females are not going to help her. But if he's out of order, they're going to fuck him up together. You get me? We have lack of understanding. Study these animals. We're mammals. There's some mammals who don't take care of their kids. Right? There's some mammals who have more than one relationship partner. We are some ignorant people as a whole. Listen, every day we so ignorant. We got teeth made for eating plants, but every day niggas eating meat every day. We that ignorant. And I can go a million, I can keep going over, I can name a million things, but right? I can tell a woman how all of these things are bad for her, but she's still gonna do them and eat and da-da-da, right? That's why I say submit to your husband. A man has a certain level, and that's why I say you're supposed to pick the right man. They have a certain level of structure and discipline that they will provide for you that you can't provide for yourself. Even if you got the money, if you got the job and the money, that don't make you a good mom or dad. It doesn't. That just means you can provide. So, like as a counselor would say, and not you personally, but like a counselor say, remember, 50 years ago, that man that y'all called the fucked up nigga that made your grandmama and them teach y'all that bullshit, he was at work all day. He never was home. He won't help in raising the kids. He just paid the bills, right? He had other women and shit, right? Was that cool? Did y'all grandmothers and them, y'all seen them crying and hurt? Was that okay? So why the fuck would y'all now, having the power y'all have, go and do the same shit that y'all grandmothers cried about and do this shit to men and say, oh, because I'm providing, oh, because of this. Yo, take your money and take the money that you make, just like I tell a man, and put that shit outside the door. Now, tell me how good of a man you are to your wife and kids. If you tell me I provide, I pay bills, I make sure my kids got da-da-da. When he finished, I'm going to say, you're a great provider, but you're a horrible father. You never spend time with your wife, right? So my question is logically, if it failed, if that type of working man made your grandmother and your mother say, I don't need a nigga, because you forgot the man they got, he worked all goddamn day. He provided for her. He provided for the other three. Mary Beth, and Anna Mae. He had kids on all sides. But was that man hurt that woman? And that led to that child seeing it, who became your mother, not you, but our mothers, who end up teaching a broke logic. So the masculine thing is, all I'm saying is that it's just like as a man, it's my job to find my true masculine, regardless of the woman that I talk to, because she can't dictate if I'm masculine. I think this is right here.
From a married woman to a married woman.
No, this is not it. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I gotta find it because he went here. I gotta find it, y'all, because it'll make sense of what you're saying. Because I don't disagree. I do understand. The only part that has to be understood on that, because yes, everything you said was factual. I won't disagree or just trying to get you. I'm just super compassionate and I hope that you can see that I'm saying, like, your feminine is on you. If I can't, I'll never find a like if I'm out on the market and I'm like, yo, I need to learn how to be a real man. I gotta be able to be that to me first, right? I'm a masculine man. But I'm comfortable with my feminine too. I gotta be comfortable with my feminine and comfortable with my masculine before I get in this relationship. A man can't bring you into your feminine. Only thing he can do is raise you. He can raise you up. But your feminine got to be something that you want, that is like a self-want that you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's kind of like you being feminine is a choice if you choose to be. Here, go right here.
I'm an aggressive, dominant female, right? So how do I get a guy to break those walls down?
Put the shoe on the other foot real quick. I just want to, I guess, note what this be sounding like to me. I can't wait for a woman to come along and bring me into my masculine era. I mean, the right woman to really motivate me to really protect and provide for her. Because
no, and let me say this too, because you my peoples, and I really appreciate you commenting and being willing to even care to explain, and I don't know it all, right? So I do this from, and you know, I do this from a good place. And like I tell people, it's like me coming in your living room this morning and saying, wake the fuck up, clean this shit up. Tell your kids to get up. I have no right. But at the same time, somebody got to care enough to just challenge it. You know, I'm not saying women completely wrong, and I'm not saying that these men out here are just at this place where y'all can just trust them. But the true leaders, we learn love from y'all. So if y'all going astray, we fucked. Because once we see y'all cold-hearted, we definitely ain't about to go there. And I try to explain to my mama, like, as women, y'all cold. But if y'all think y'all cold, imagine when we turn cold. But y'all cold on another level. You know what I'm saying? But there's reasons. But I want y'all to remember that right now, be mindful that the men are going through the same abuse emotionally and mentally because now y'all got the money. And now y'all telling us, and even if we got good jobs or whatever, or y'all, it's like y'all money has become an obstacle to fight with. Not all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or the pride, the fact that when people don't need each other, the relationship don't work as much. See, black man and black woman survived slavery and they went and found their families. They needed each other to survive. We don't need each other. Oh, I got a job. I got my homies. I got my homegirls. That's why we fucked up. It's not until they about to put us back in slaves and fucked up again. You know what I'm saying? That it's gonna be like that. But I just want to say to misnomer, like a lot of people, when you write this stuff on the feed, or when you give there's a million people, or there's other people that feel exactly how you feel. So rather if they connect with what you feeling and they're gonna like it harder, but it gives them a voice too, because they might not want to type it or they might not speak up. So the healing is in the dialogue in between what you saying and what I'm saying, not just what I'm saying. That's why it's very good that I seen that you kept writing how you feel in the feed, so that it gives voices for people who don't write, and there's a lot of people feel exactly and agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not here to tear nothing down, but I love when y'all write on the chat. Never take it as me just attacking. You giving me more room to expand, to try to give a better. When y'all say stuff, it allows me to try to articulate better the point, to maybe hopefully I can say it right this time or be clearer to you know.
because most of these women done.
Let me play it back.
I'm an aggressive, dominant female, right? So how do I get a guy to break those walls down?
Put the shoe on the other foot real quick. I just want to, I guess, note what this be sounding like to me. I can't wait for a woman to come along and bring me into my masculine era. I mean, the right woman to really motivate me to really protect and provide for her. Because most of these women done had me in my soft era for so long that I don't even know if women are really worthy of bringing out my masculinity. So I really got to trust the right one in order to be the man that I'm supposed to be. Who dating me? I say something like that.
Well, you know what's crazy?
Who with me if I'm saying that me being a man is contingent on you being the woman that you're supposed to be? Like, be realistic. You feel me? And again, this not.
And what I got from what he was saying was that, because he told Shorty right after that, he was like, yo, apologies, I don't mean it like that. Remove that man. Like, okay, let's say, fuck the relationship. You being a good woman is within you, right? Because I want y'all to remember, whether religious or any other knowledge aspect, me being a good man is dependent upon me, not dependent upon the woman I date or marry or I got kids by. It's about me. So that's why I seen one when he said, women, remove these men out of the picture mentally. And then look at life from that perspective. Like, if you already on your shit and you becoming a better woman in your own feminine, because your true feminine is strength. The true alpha is feminine. Alpha. Anything that ends with A in language is feminine. So even the alpha still is the highest masculinity is the highest form of femininity. But masculinity is what the boys get. So a male is a woman. Your son is a woman at her highest evolution. So for a woman to take on that characteristic trait is unnatural and against genetic code of nature, because if you were supposed to be that dominant, nature would have made you a male. You get me? Now, that has nothing to do because truthfully, the masculine is weaker than the feminine. The feminine is the positive. The masculine is the negative. Not about negative and like as far as bad, but everything is electric, negative and positive. Opposites attract. But right now we dealing with two negatives and we making positives. But these positives are coming from negatives, right? Meaning that our positives is our kids who tired of our bullshit, that don't want to be hoish like they mama, don't want to be sidetracked. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Don't want to be thugs and hoish like they daddies. And, you know, because some of this shit, we all have been somewhat caught up in this shit because they sexualize all of us with TV, pornos, and all that shit. And then they fucked our kids up already because our kids seen boy on boy and girl on girl on TV, and it fucked them up. I'm not, hey, if you like girls, I'm not against you. If you like men, that's on you. I'm not against you. That's your business. Who you are as an individual is the issue. So that's why when I say, remember, whether we realize it or not, even whether man or woman, yo, you becoming a better feminine woman is better because also it teaches the children. If you got daughters, right, it'll teach your daughter she will see strength in her feminine. The women who got mothers who always like they doll themselves up, but they know how to communicate. They moms don't really raise their voice and yell at men like that, or if they watch their mothers, they watch their mothers have relationships, they see this. Because people learn from what they see. Those women grow up, because I got homegirls who grew up in houses of marriage of even though their parents had problems, they understand relationships, but now they're fucked up when they get into the real world. You know why? Now they got the technology, but they got to date, he or she got to date a bunch of people who come from broken families, and now every time they date, the people that they date don't understand the same. When she seen her mom and dad go through arguments, breakups, cheating, but they stayed together and worked through it, she seen a commitment. He or she seen a commitment. These other people, when she got in the world, she got to date 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 different people by the time she's 30. And none of these niggas or these men or these women grew up in households that was connected. That when we talk about white women and Chinese people and Hispanics, these kids grow up in households where their parents are together, where they go. We forgot, the black woman in America today forgot that the man you're looking for, they rarely exist. You know, that 30, 40 year relationship, that man stepped out, that woman probably stepped out. They had a reason to stay together. They got together at 22, they got kids. They stepped out. If they ain't brought each other nothing, they can recover from that if the situation permits itself without all of the diseases and shit like that. And even sometimes, even that don't stop people. So I'm just saying, remember that your true, for all of us, us being good men and us being good women is determined upon ourselves.
It's not to knock my beloved. I don't know her, and I don't know contextually what she means by having walls up. You feel me? And that's why I said I'm trying to be gracious. But I find too often, especially because it's popular rhetoric, that a lot of women will rather choose to place their healing, to place their progress on the backs of a doing what he's supposed to be doing. Like ladies, bro, because again, I find it more with women. Take men out of the center of your life and see what that do for you.
And that's real. But I want to go back to
like, yo, it won't work.
Before we get out there, because
You want to make him
I want to know how
love
y'all
like
feel
y'all
about what he's
love,
saying too.
act like y'all act, be like y'all be, do like y'all do. Man can't do it like that. And the problem is, most of y'all grew up in homes and you ain't never seen how a man act. You never seen how a man respond to nothing. And so you out there thinking you understand and you know just based off of what TikTok saying and men on TikTok saying and everybody saying, you have no idea. Sit down, be quiet, and let the man that truly loves you love you. Not based on your terms, on his. He know what he doing. Stop trying to control him to or manipulate him to be like you. No, we're two different beings. And if you really want a success in a relationship, let the man be the man. And if he loves,
hey, I just put this when you write on YouTube for everybody with the YouTube that be on the YouTube link. Like I said, I could put on the screen, and just for Black Toast Cartel, I appreciate your support, and I see you up all the time. And it's exactly what I said in the conversation. The truth for everybody that used to argue with me online or don't, right? When we are in them points, that's where the people are learning the most. The truth is in the middle of our two perspectives. Hey, I appreciate you tapping in.
love you, he'll sacrifice for you. That's a fact. If he don't, he won't. He won't do like what I'm doing. He won't get up without you. You don't have to push me to get out of bed. I'm just gonna get up anyway. Why? Because I got work to do. Why? Because I got sacrifices to make. I got obligations that I'm not running from. That's why. Women, you're different. You're different. Men are different. It's just different. There's nothing you can do to change it.
Are you saying all men are the same?
We're different. I didn't say all men are the same. I said men are different from women. And I tell you that when a man loves, there is sacrifice in it. If he don't, there's no sacrifice. If the man is, you got to push him out the bed, beg him to go to the job, that nigga don't love you. Because when he love for real, oh, he going hard. The problem is, y'all don't know because you ain't never seen it. Your mama raised you by herself. Her mama raised her by herself. And all y'all just going out together, all y'all see is a bunch of women. You don't really see how men interact. And so when you hear a man tell you how men love each other, oh, he this, he that. But no. Men bond different. Our stuff is because we can't turn our love on and off like a woman. I remember my dad.
Hey, she disagreed with his daughter, right? But in psychology, right? And the counselors will tell you this. They say that a woman could wake up any morning, like one day, a woman could wake up and say, you know what? I don't want this no more. And more marriages can end. Like, yeah, there's the reasons that led up to that, as we know. Like a woman, it's not just really overnight, but the way that they breaking it down is that a woman feelings can turn off. Where a man, he still wants his marriage on average and family, and the studies show this. Not saying every man, but on average. That's why it's been a deep studies of millions of people culturally, right? And it is very true. When he say to cut on, cut off, that's why when let's say she get mad at a man, they've been together and she don't pick up his phone calls ever. That's not healthy. Right? You know what I mean? Now, if he's just toxic and trying to hurt you, I get it. But a lot of times you just curve him, don't pick up the phone, can't come see you, can't do that. Like that's just turned on shit emotionally. So you can create an environment where a man gets so psychotic that motherfucker kick doors and you don't, depending on how you can communicate, you could, as a woman, you have more power than you think.
Told me that. How a woman can love you today and tomorrow, like she don't even know you no more. I don't know how that is because I'm a man. So I don't even try to think like that because I'm not like that. There's no way I can be like that. It's not in me. My analogy of that is men love like cement. When you first pour cement, it's soft and runny. You put up a containment wall around it, holds it in place. Over time, it just gets hard and hard and hard and hard and hard. Eventually, it gets so hard that you need a doggone wrecking crane to break it. And even that, it still stick together. But a woman, she don't love like that. Her love is different. She loves like water. It evaporates over time.
I think you get that from your first love. You think you puppy love, and then everybody's young, so the young woman moves on, and you use that experience.
See, listen to what his daughter is saying. As if she's older. Look how arrogant this shit is on a spiritual level. I think because this is his daughter. This is his daughter knowing him and her mother, right? Saying like, well, I think it's because who the fuck told you that your first love couldn't have been genuine and couldn't have lasted for life? Because your mother got older and seen another man that she thought could put her in a better position? Or whatever the case. I didn't hear her say her father was cheating and doing all this shit. Well, it's because he just told you that men love different and you proving it.
To attain it to all of your experiences as you grow up into adulthood, that women don't love like men. Our love is temporary, whatever you said. Because
I didn't say temporary.
Let me say this. Why niggas dying in the streets for each other like that then if I love the same? Females ain't dying at the same rate, nowhere near it. You have power. I've been saying this. You were born with power. You have the ability to tell things what to do and manipulate. That's your magic. We have love. That's our magic. So we bond with men different. That's why we bond in the street differently. Our relationship with our homeboy is different than what our relationship is with us. It's a completely different bond. But the bond with some of our bros could be so strong because the lack of betrayal and shit that don't come in, that's how it used to be in some areas with some people. That's why they be in the streets dying for each other. Right? It's not a crime that a woman doesn't love the same or a man doesn't love the same. It's just a lack of understanding.
Where I say it's different. That's why when the scripture talks about the woman, it says, women, submit to your husband. But it tells men to love their wives. Because women, they have to choose to love or submit. A man, when we love, it's just love. It is what it is. There's no change.
A woman would love a man based on how he treats her. She would treat him. Yeah. So.
Hey, that's deep what you said just now. He said, I think women just want the butterflies in their stomach and they turn 60 and that's over for real, for real. Okay, great point. Not saying that, I'm not saying, oh yeah, women not, but good point. That butterfly feeling, and I understand you completely, bro. Right? I understand completely. Meaning that new excitement that you get in, that feeling of new. You remember the statement that women say, ain't nothing, a man would say, they'd be like, girl, ain't nothing better than but new pussy, right? That's that new feeling. When you meet somebody new, see, that new feeling, that feeling is something that's like that's a spark. That's a universal magnetic spark. That shit fades. But if you chasing, once you get past a certain amount of time and you looking for that spark again and not looking for loyalty or not looking for the right things, you're gonna run and go to that. And then when that spark runs out, this is what's happening. That butterfly, that magnetic spark that he's saying, that's butterflies that attract you to something new, which is natural. But common sense is supposed to tell you as a woman, like, yo, you're attractive, you're cool. But I know what to expect from this person, good, bad, and different, and where they need the areas if I can deal with it. But I don't know where the fuck you taking me or leading me or where the fuck we supposed to be going. But if you chasing the feeling, that feeling in your stomach, that's not real. That's just excitement. I'm going to give you an example. I was a big ball player before all this music. I realized no matter how many basketball games I played, every game I got butterflies. But as soon as the ball went up and somebody, all they had to do was push me and tell me shut up, and I was focused in the game. I forgot about everybody. That I recognized then. That's why before I go on stage, I get butterflies, I ignore it because I know that's natural. Butterflies is a natural response to when you don't know what to expect from something that you're excited about. But I understood the point of what you were saying about butterflies. But it's men doing it too, bro.
That's a person. That's a
human woman,
being.
regardless of how she treat him. If he love her, trust me, when a man love a woman, that woman can do all kinds of stuff. He gonna still love her. You believe me? This is why a man's heartbreak, you can't even fathom the the heartbreak of a man when he loves a woman and she.
Let me say this too. They made a business out of men's heartbreak called crime of passion. Instead of the culture we live in, educating women on what they're doing that lead, that also the heartbreak that we know about postpartum depression, but what about post-relationship, post-marital depression in men? The shit that have them going and killing these women. Oh, we ain't gonna talk about that, right? Oh, I never heard of it before. Of course. A man that's really in love with a woman, he takes this shit so crazy. Meaning that he doesn't know how to cut her off and just not pick up the phone no more. If men have done that to you as women, he never loved you like that. You were just one of his women, or you were just something that he like fucking with. You just don't know that. You think, oh, these niggas are dogs. No, the niggas that you fuck with just won't really fucking with you like that. You just was play to them or whatever they was on. And now you, the same way. That's the thing. But she's saying that's because, but a woman too, your first love. He break your heart crazy. And for the rest of your life, you feel that too.
Breaks his heart.
Fair.
A lot of men, matter of fact, most men never recover. Look at your daddy. Never recovered. Still to this day, in love with your mom. Never recovered. Never. And that's a lot of men. They don't recover. But women do. All she need is she go through her little stuff what she go through, and she has sex with another man. And
the reason why I'm reading your comment, it says, and believe it or not, there are a lot of males walking around here, and they don't have the body parts to prove it true, or women naturally take on male like characteristics or traits. After a while of engaging with them over time, especially if you don't have consistent connection with the male, they'll eventually become, or I know it's not supposed to intimate, but imitate the energies that they interacted with. And I get you on that. In a lot of ways. So hold on one second. So you said taking on the characteristics and traits from not being around. Is that what you mean? Like from a woman not being, from a male not being around or something, like, or women take on the traits, right? Because just so I understand clear, especially if they don't have it around them. Well, let me say this. Women take on masculine traits because y'all niggas look like y'all daddies. You know what I mean? Y'all, but I know girls, and like I feel like you look like your daddy. Boys take after their mother. We take a lot of feminine features, right? That's why, like, it is women with long eyelashes, but most of the time the boys get it because they take after their moms, right? Boys take a lot. The guys that women think are attractive, they take on feminine features of their mother. Women like the feminine features of men. Some, like a lot of women, certain things, like you like pretty boys, like you like the feminine features. Some girls like the rough looking niggas. You know what I'm saying? But overall, part of the reason why like that masculine is because you take it on, because outside of genetic, you take on this masculine approach and appeal because the body is 85% water. What you think and how you feel, the body reflects it. If you gonna walk around masculine like I'm a man, your body gonna reflect that shit. The body 85% water. Water hold the most memory on planet Earth. So it reflects whatever you give it. Like when I was down and fucked up and mentally, the body reflected it. Everybody's like, bro, you lost some weight. So the masculine traits that women are taking on these men, we see it too. And now y'all don't understand why y'all be attracting a lot of these gay men. You know what I'm saying? Because of these reasons. It's crazy. Or you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit that just be crazy shaking. You see, don't do that with my daddy's daughter. But nah, and I appreciate the feedback. I just thought it was what he was saying, good, bad, and different. You know, it was a time when we would sit down and have to listen to the elder on what he feels.
No one can hold Black women accountable. Black women, unfortunately, we have adopted this mentality that I can do whatever I want to do and can't nobody tell me anything. And this is why we are where we're at. We live in a very selfish, egotistical society now that nobody cares. If you're a Black woman and to hold Black women accountable, you have to be ready to like fight because it's going to come with a lot. I'm always thinking about how young girls are being influenced. So what us grown women are doing, it's influencing these girls to do these out of control, I don't care attitudes. They have the most disgusting attitudes and you can't even check them because they have their moms who say I could do whatever I want. So can't no one hold us accountable. Not a Black man. Your white boss probably, that's probably the only one who can tell us what to do because he pay us. A gay man.
So what does that make you? A professional. Let me say it right. I've been saying this for years. I got cussed out for this. if she just admitted that only your boss can tell you what to do, so that means you his woman. Y'all don't even realize. That's why we be disgusted. Y'all come home and we looking at y'all like fuck out of here, like and on to the next. We know y'all submissive to these white men in these jobs. Y'all not. They don't give a fuck about you, and they'll tell you like, look, you can go do the work that he don't give a fuck about you. He know he paying you money because every culture of the world know that the Black woman submits to $1. Every culture. Why you think so many TV shows about like, they showing you women like you do anything for $1. Y'all box each other, fight, get naked, stripping overall for $1. Not even on us like just saying stripping or none of that funny shit. That's how y'all market it and don't realize it. When y'all see y'all like, I wonder as a woman, do y'all not see that when the rest of the world see y'all, they see y'all that way? Like all of the shows with women fighting always naked. So that's why when other men approach y'all, they approach y'all for a good time. But then when we do it, we fucked up.
Man can tell us what to do. There's a Black woman or
and what I was gonna say was if your boss can tell you what to do, that make you a corporate prostitute. Or a corporate side chick. But now your job, which is your side nigga, that's your side provider. Get more respect than the person in your house because of money. And then when you do that, because anytime it come out your mouth, even if you're a good woman, because good women say it too, they say, well, I had to do this, your daughter and them kids hear it. You done just institutionalize and colonize your children. So that's why I want y'all to understand why I be so hard on the women. In the Willie Lynch letter, comparing the slave to the horse, you can never control the male horse, just like you can never control the Black man who got his mind right. But the female, once she gets pregnant and have kids, she's the easiest to manipulate. Why? Because even if she doesn't understand that I'm nice to her when she's pregnant or I'm nice to her and I give her money, right? And for the horse, he gives her fruits and extra and stuff. When the baby see her being nice, so mind you, while you yelling at this nigga in your house, or you ain't this and that, but he see you be nice, but the kids watch you when you go to work, you nice with your coworkers, you nice with your white boss, you nice with your mom, you nice with your sister, but you mean over here? What did you just teach them? You just taught them that those people that you nice to, they're good people. And the person that you upset at, they ain't shit. So the kids automatically assume that the owner of the horse is okay because they just seeing me feed her an apple, the child horse, the children horses, they automatically become easily to control. From that point on, when they babies, now they're gonna listen to the people. They're never gonna be headstrong like the mother and father because mom is just giving power away to the master or the breeder. Power was transferred that day. He became the new owner of the parent. She's still mom, but because she was allowed and ate the apple and was nice to him, that's the power of you. We don't hold that fucking power. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I say understanding is key. It's very, very important.
A Black man, a straight Black man, we don't want to hear it. No one can hold Black women accountable. Black women, unfortunately.
And we know this. So when y'all hear men all the time talking about accountability, we talk about, this is the true accountability. When we challenge you about how you raising your children, it's not always to disrespect you. But we see things that you're allowing to slip. That's why the studies show, psychology, that single women lead children to failure at a higher rate than Mother and fathers lead the highest rate of success, and the dad is right under. The mother by herself is at the bottom. But when it comes down to failure, she's at the top. Because as a woman, your natural state is a weakness for the children. And just like a man's natural state with children is a weakness if he's not sound. He can't just be the man. He can't just be, I'm Willie. Yo, with some kids, nah, I gotta be Irvin. You feel me? I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be in tune with myself to be in touch with myself on multiple levels for these children. So that's why it's like, it's the same thing. You by yourself is not bad. It's just that man wasn't made to be alone and children wasn't raised to be alone. And then we also never speak about how many women that didn't allow the fathers to see the kids. And now that we older, some of us actually went and talked to our other parents or got to know them, and then they found out the truth. Like, so you telling me he done reached out to you, but every time he reach out, don't call my phone. She don't need your help, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So your mom blocked your blessings of your parent. Because listen, one thing about a man, a real emotionally intelligent man, for real, I'm calling every day first couple years, and you stopping me and then you ain't answer my phone call, this and that. Like, what, I gotta go to jail and all this shit? I got shit, right? So some men just gonna stop, and cause we understand that you gonna hurt your child, and one day when they come to me and they gonna have everything documented so that they can show their children. I didn't want to keep coming to the house, show all this turmoil. My job is to show my face, or to let them know, hear my voice that I'm trying, and they don't need to talk. So when I do present them the evidence as adults the proper way, not bashing and bitter, but the true evidence, they can see that I've been sitting here this whole time. But I'm not going to destroy my life because your mother is manipulative and wants shit her way. I had shit to do. I'm focused. But if she ever want to sit down and compromise and fix this shit, we can. Or vice versa. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Because we know men got this shit too. But there's nobody that can do more for the race. I say race, we understand. There's nobody that can do more for us than the women. You are the biggest influence. Children in nature follow their mother. So if look at what women are doing on TikTok, look at all of the way they're dressing. You are the biggest example of everybody. Everybody follows you. I talk to women all the time. They always say, y'all, I know that y'all feel like y'all still ain't got it yet, but trust me, America would put a black lady in office before they put a white woman. And trust me, America would have put a black woman in office, but we had a black woman as a vice president that didn't do shit. The whole time she campaigning, nigga, you president. Because what's the name, old as hell, he already out of it. She could have did more. Sometimes I feel like y'all growing so much, I progress, y'all don't even see it sometimes. And y'all forgot. Y'all so ambitious that y'all forgot. Y'all ever look down? Because the day that black women in the next 10 years realize it, y'all gonna stop. Y'all, as y'all flying up, y'all gonna stop and say, well, let me look down. And y'all gonna realize that the black man's still in hell. In every way. Y'all make it seem like we free. And we in the right place. We supposed to be to lead y'all. We can't even lead our kids and tell y'all, how can we, before we can rule a nation or lead a nation to war or empire to a kingdom to take our shit back, how can we do that when we can't even get our mothers and our sisters and them to hear us out? Because y'all have gotten so used to shutting us. When y'all don't want to hear, let me tell you the true form of selfishness. I'm done talking about it, and that's all I'm going to talk about. That's the highest form of selfishness. That's the highest form of control, because you just control the situation and conversation, and you stop the flow of communication and energy. So at that point, if that's constantly happening, now that man learns and develops what? All right, well, I don't want to talk about it no more. He gonna go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always told me. This is another one for y'all before we go.
Let me learn you something, bitch. Let me teach you something. Every man has to teach you how to be a wife to them. All men are different. Bitch, you could come doing something that you normally do for this nigga that this other nigga ain't going for. What you talking about? How can a man teach you how to be a wife? Cause she show. And they gotta show you how he want his clothes earned. And they gotta show you how he want his sheets fluffed, bitch. That's a man teaching you how to be a wife. Teaching you how to be his wife. fuck is you talking about? You probably don't make macaroni and cheese like his mama do. That mean he gotta tell you like, baby, I like my macaroni and cheese like woo. That mean you have to learn. It's learned behavior when you deal with every man. Every man is not the same. Bitch, I'm trying to teach you all something. You bitches always want to be argumentative. Fucking listen sometimes.
You know what's crazy? I hear women always talk about men be too aggressive. Look how y'all talk to each other. That's killing me. Nobody calls a black woman bitch more than a black woman. Y'all use it. Y'all use the word bitch interchangeable. Like bitch and the word nigga are the only two words in Ebonics in the English language that is a noun, adjective, verb, everything. I'm lying? What's good, nigga? Man, fuck that nigga. Man, that's my nigga. Everywhere I just used it, you can use it in somewhere you can put this word, nigga, please. Right? The same thing with bitch the way women use it when they using it to each other. I always question, how does the word have power amongst each other, but has a negative connotation or negativity when said amongst, right? As in the word bitch means a female dog, and it's not because she sleep with her kids. That's just one of the names. You got you got the sir and the dame. You know what I'm saying? So it's multiple names, but it wasn't because she sleep with her kids. So lack of understanding.
Combative ass bitches. Bitch, I ain't submissive, bitch. Let me learn you something, bitch.
But at the end of the day, it's in y'all language. I ain't gonna keep holding y'all this morning. Organic Minds episode 25. I'll be back on because I know I've been running trying to hold it down, but I'll definitely be back on. Please share the content, leave comments. Good, bad, and difference. If you agree, you don't agree, I'm cool with that. I still read them. I'm not here to bash. Some of the greatest comments, I like going back and forth, but as you've seen, like today, when I'm going back and forth with y'all, I want y'all to get it that it's like it's people leaning my way, it's people leaning your way, and then it's that truth in the middle. It's just that for some reason, as we talk about things and give our opinions, we start to get a clearer. The people that's in between see a bigger picture. Okay, because they'll say, okay, I get his point, I get her point. They both make good points, but now they can apply the good or both sides or what they feel that they like. And so I appreciate y'all tapping in with Willie Walker BH. 14 grams is out. You know what I'm saying? You want to find anything you want to find of me, just type in Willie Walker BH on Google or Willie Walker BH on YouTube, on Instagram, on Spotify, Apple Music, on anything, and everything is attached to me. So I appreciate y'all. We out.